Okay, so for today's live, we're going to be talking about my experience with ChatGPT 5.6 Soul, as they're calling it, and we're going to be talking about Fable, sort of my experience. I've now maxed out both of these models in the last 48 hours or so. So I've maxed out Fable 5 twice, and I'm just happy to actually report it. I literally just got a reminder that my account just got reset. So I'm pretty excited. So we're going to be able to do a little bit of Fable 5 on this release, or sorry, on this live. And then ChatGPT 5.6 just dropped. So I got some thoughts about that. We're going to be sharing some of the things that I'm working on with 5.6 that feels better, feels a little bit better than Fable, but I'm getting ahead of myself. In case you don't know me, who I am, my name is Dwayne. Basically, I run three different startups at this particular point. One is a construction management software company focused on helping contractors and project managers and property management companies sort of manage their business with our tool. And then I have a lead scoring application that is focused on lead outreach, lead generation, which I just recently launched and is focused on solving the messy problem of having to do outreach at scale. So, with that, I'm going to give you sort of my take on Fable today. Fable is a fantastic model. It's actually a really good model. There's so many good things to say about this model. And I want to do some deep dive on how I'm using it. In fact, one of the things that I want to do on this live today is I want to set up a full end to end process of extracting my live content, which is something I do on a regular basis. I do these lives and then I get off the phone or get off the call or video live, and then I don't do anything with the videos. And I want to change that. So in this live, what I'm going to try to do is set up a process, an automated process, so that as those recordings come in, they automatically post them out to social media and do proper posting, because I got a lot of content that's just sitting on my hard drive that's doing absolutely nothing. It's not working for me. And this, we're going to work through the details on that. So, yeah, there is one thing that I will say about 5.6 that I just really like so far, and that's the thing that it just gets the job done. It just gets the job done. Like, I can't stress this enough. The Fable 5, no, sorry, not Fable 5, the ChatGPT model 5.6 Soul, it'll just take care of the problem. With Fable, I'm finding that I don't know if because Anthropic just spends a lot of time trying to make things, they put too many restrictions. This whole Fable thing with the security thing is really nonsense as far as I'm concerned. Oh, got a statement here. Shri from Lee says, I heard it's cheaper on 5.6. It's a much cheaper model, my friend. Much cheaper model. It's not necessarily that it's cheaper, is that it's extremely token efficient. And by being token efficient, 5.6, you can get significantly more output out of the model. With Fable, it is very token hungry, so it chews up a lot of resources very fast. That being said, though, it's no slouch. It's actually very good. And more importantly, I like Fable for design. Like, Fable just tops the list when it comes to design. For some reason, ChatGPT keeps saying that they have the better design. They don't. And I've proven this time and time again that the Fable model is just significantly better when it comes to design. So, yeah, you're 100% right. It is cheaper. Um, and it's way better. Have you used it, Shri, by chance? Are you have you used the model in any single way? And thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate that very much. So let me see. Did I miss any other questions here? No. I'm curious. Have you used it at all, or are you're just curious about the thing, about the pricing? So yeah, so we're gonna do that. If you're new here, I have not yet with 5.6, but I have with Fable. Okay, got you. Yeah. So I love Fable. I can't stress this enough. Fable is fantastic. It's a really good model. And by the way, so if you guys are new here, you don't know who I am, I run a free school community. So feel free to join my school community where we have content that I'm still working on. It's work in progress, but I have some courses on Cloudflare and on how to launch a product. And basically, if you're new to like the development world and trying to launch an entrepreneur type focused product, teaching you sort of entrepreneurial skills. So in that, and we're up to 211 members. And look at that, we got another 10 people waiting for membership. Posts reported by members. Oh, interesting. I got a couple that I got to delete. I got a spammer inside of there. So yeah, we're trying to boost the community. I was actually away this weekend. So I was actually away on, I wouldn't say vacation, but I was away camping this week here. So I came home and 5.6 was launched yesterday, and I was like, fantastic. And I started hammering away at it, and I'm pretty much maxed out on my credits already because I just had to do a ton of stuff. It's really good. Now, that being said, I haven't had enough time to truly test the work other than making some iterations. It did make a couple of mistakes, which I was like, I feel like you could have done better than this. But yeah. What have you built with both models? Oh, the more question is what I have not built is probably a better question. So I'm working on a lead generation application. Actually, I'm working on a lead generation application that does outreach at scale. So by scale, I mean one sales rep can manage 100,000 leads, no problem. So that's basically what this platform is focused on doing. But to answer your question more specifically on what I did in the last couple of days with it, I had it build. My other startup is a construction software company, and we're actually revamping our integration. So I had it build out the integration for 10 different accounting modules. I'm like, here's the accounting module, here's what we got, here's the entire thing. So that's QuickBooks, Xero, Sage Accounting, Wave Accounting, and a few others. I'm forgetting all the details. And I just basically had it one-shot it. So that's what I'm doing. With these more capable models, I'm one-shotting entire product features or product categories of features that would normally take 6 months to kind of do. That's sort of like how I'm pushing these models. So I did that. Let me go to my GitHub because my GitHub will tell you exactly what I've done, so you know what I'm not thinking. So just to give you some of my stats. I like to talk about my stats. My stats prove that I'm not BSing. So here. Now, what's crazy is that this graph that you're seeing here, okay, today is the 10th. Yesterday was the 9th, obviously. The 8th was the only day I really didn't do a lot of work, and that was because these days here, I was on vacation. And look at this. With Fable 5, this is what's crazy, guys. Let me zoom in this just to let you understand how crazy this is, okay? This is a new world. Because, just look at this. Okay, I'm going to try to take a screenshot of it and see if I could, hang on. Let me take a screenshot of this. Okay. So I could draw on the screen just to show you. And let me see if okay, here we go. Okay, look at this. Look how crazy this is. This is wild. Okay, because, here. Okay, look at this. My average before Fable and 4.6 came out is, I normally do, okay, this is a high day for me, is about, let's call it 45 commits. On average though, I'm doing about 25 commits per day with 4.8 and the others. And then Fable came out and I went from 25 commits to over 100 commits within that 48-hour period. It's about 40, it's a little bit more than 48-hour period. And then I went on vacation. And during vacation, I'm still doing about 75 commits per day, which is insane. And just to be clear, I got up at 5 a.m., worked up until about 7:38, and then didn't do any work until around like 9 p.m. To like 10, and then went to bed. So literally did not do any single thing throughout the day. And I'm still maintaining a commit level almost triple what I was doing before, which is crazy. At least double for sure, right? So that's how much work you can get with Fable and 5.6. And today was busy day, so I didn't really do a lot of stuff. But that's to give you an idea. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff that you do. I want to make profits. Yeah. Well, hey, come to the right place. You're in the right place because that's what we focus on this channel. Vibe Code to Profit. It's literally in the title, Mister I Amin. I don't know if I pronounce your name. I'm Amin Ahmed. It's in the name of the title. We're not vibe coding for the sake of vibe coding. We're vibe coding because we want to build a sustainable business, and we want to build a business model that actually works. And that's the thing that I teach on this channel. So join the community if you haven't already. Let me drop the link in the chat just so I could, and then we'll move on, start talking about some other stuff. TTPS for all the newcomers around here. Join the community and let's and feel free to message me in the community if you got questions or whatever it is, and we can go from there. All right. Okay. So what are we gonna do today? Let me tell you what I'm on. Hello, man. How are you doing? Original Jacko. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So let's go do some real work, okay? Because we got models to use, so we're gonna use them. Okay. So I want to do a couple of things. First of all, what's the difference? When to use the different models, etc. We'll talk about that, and then we'll jump into the actual code details for sure. So, oh, you know what? I forgot to do it. Forgot to on YouTube put my the chat so I could see it. NVIDIA per listen to it or whisper. Tried using Fable as a lead with mix of agents on Hermes 5.6 as a reference agent. You're asking me if I've tried to do that with Hermes. So I haven't dug into Hermes as yet. I'm still on OpenClaw. Call me old school. Crazy that technology came out literally like 3 months ago and is now considered old school because Hermes is wrong. I just haven't had the time to really sit down and work on Hermes properly. And frankly, I'm running out of computers and they're getting a little bit too expensive to buy because I got one Mac M1, my Mac Mini that's basically focused on OpenClaw, and I feel like I need another computer for Hermes. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to work on OpenClaw. We're going to really dial in. We're going to get it right so I can understand the nuances of OpenClaw properly. And once I do that, this is how I kind of work. Once I get it like a really, really in-depth knowledge on one thing, then I use that as a baseline to figure out whether the next thing is better or not. And right now I feel like everybody's kind of jumped onto Hermes because it's quote unquote better. But some people could say yes. Some people that actually use it a lot could say exactly why it's better. But I'm not convinced that, it's that much better than OpenClaw if you spend the time to configure them. So there's that. But, people will say it's a security thing, it's yada, yada, all this kind of stuff, right? So anyway, that's my thoughts. I created some stuff on Google AI Studio. You know what? I loved Google AI Studio, but I can't vouch for it today. It's not as good. But that being said, though, have you published it to an actual real like URL, original Jaco or Jacko? If you have, then that's one first step, obviously. But the second step is be able to make sure that people can actually visit that, obviously, and try to sign up for your product. That's what you should be focusing on, trying to get real customers. Okay, so let's talk about when you should be thinking about these tools and how you should be thinking about them. Okay, for people that are developers, the developers in the room tend to want to just go use the best tool for the best job, right? Like, let's just use the latest model and then ask it a stupid question like, what's the weather like today, right? Like, don't do that. All right, you got to start thinking about how to layer your sort of like model questions in what I think of are 3 different layers, right? There's the business layer, there's a coding layer, and then there's automation layer. And the truth is, you don't need the most expensive model for all 3 layers. You really, really don't. And you have to start thinking about this very clearly because cost is increasing. All right. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I think I haven't even looked at the bill, to be honest with you, but I think right now, for sure, last month, just on Codex for sure, I'm about $600-700 on Codex. Sorry, not Codex. GitHub Copilot, which honestly I'm not using as much anymore, and I'm kind of questioning why I have an enterprise level plan with them when I'm not using their stuff anymore. And the reason why I'm not using it is because they just hurt me with some ridiculous bills. Look at this. So I'm already, which is crazy. I'm at $190, and I barely used them this month. I promise you, I was on vacation. On vacation. And the only thing, this is what's crazy about it, okay? Just to give you an idea, because this is wild. With my VS Code at this present time, the only thing I'm doing is just using it to write the commit message for commits. That's it. And even that, I have Fable and all the other models doing a better job at that. So I'm not even using it. I have not written a single code in VS Code outside of just thing, and I'm already at $190, which is crazy. Okay. So the AI cost is just getting wild, it's getting ridiculous. I've just all but abandoned ChatGPT. Sorry, GitHub Copilot. I actually don't even, now I'm curious, like, what is it that they're charging me for 100 and thing? Okay, so included credits, I have 7,000 AI credits. I haven't used any, but what are they charging for? I don't even know. Right? It's just, look at this. 29 build like, I'm being charged for something I have no idea what I'm being charged for. That's how crazy it is. Oh, okay. They're charging me for VMs. They're charging me for VM. This is infrastructure stuff. Okay. All right. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. Ridiculous though. So I'm being charged for overage on VM. GitHub Copilot has just gotten really, really expensive. Right? But that being said though, on the flip side, let me go to my ChatGPT. My usage, I'm on max for Codex and max for thing. And I'm not saying this just to brag. I'm basically trying to explain that the cost has gone up so much that you really have to think about how you're spending your tokens, okay? That's all I'm trying to say here, guys. I'm not trying to brag about, how much I'm spending on AI. I'm not proud of this because I used to be paying $10 a month for AI, and now I'm paying something like $1,200 a month for AI. It's ridiculous. The cost has just gone bunkers. So to I think it was original Jaco. If you're not making money, then what's the point? You want to be profitable. You need to make money on this, else you're just wasting tokens. And I've watched the industry, like the tech industry, complain about the fact that they're spending all these AI tokens, but they're not necessarily seeing the returns in actual dollars. So if you're a solo founder or you're an entrepreneur or you got a small team, you best be finding ways to recoup that return on investment, else you're just wasting money. So with that, you have to be thinking about the business layer, right? So you got the business layer, you got a coding layer, you got an automation layer. You need to basically be kind of thinking about which models you should use for what, else you're just wasting money across the board. On the business layer, we have things like research, slides, docs, Google spreadsheets, CRM, all that type of stuff, right? On the coding layer, that's pretty straightforward. It's testing, it's migration, it's PR, it's GitHub issues. And then on the automation layers, it's scheduling, etc., right? Samdi N8E says that he's using Hermes agents. I'm using OpenClaw on the automation layer. Okay, so with that, this is at a high level how I'm thinking about things, and you guys feel free to share your own experience on how you're thinking about things. But with GPT 5.6, I'm like the most complex business problems, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that because I'm going to show you real examples of what I'm doing. But the most complex business problems I'm using 5.6 for right now, right? And this is like very ambitious, high value, multi-step type of task, right? Where I'm literally, in fact, let me just pull up the epic that I was working on specifically for OpenClaw, just sorry, not OpenClaw, for 5.6, just to show you how complex I'm trying to push these models into doing something real. So let me go to issues here, and then I'm going to try to pull up, see if I could find it now. Oh, you know what? The best way to find it is if I just go to where's the ChatGPT? Hang on. Forgot I restarted my computer, didn't open up ChatGPT. Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Here we go. You know what I don't like? They changed the icon from Codex icon to the ChatGPT one. And then funny enough, when I click on it, it changed back to the Codex icon. It's really annoying. Okay, so 5.6 Soul. Yes, I got you. I'm going to use it right now. So let me show you what I'm working on specifically for like how complex of a task I'm talking about here. All right, here. Okay, so this is my accounting implementation that I'm doing specifically for, we're rewriting our implementation for this ticket, okay? In this ticket, in the parent epic, just to give you some idea, I have, let me zoom out a little bit here. This is what 5.6 is doing for me, okay? I have foundation, that's one epic. I have phase one, integration with QuickBooks Online, integration with QuickBooks Desktop, integration with Xero, integration with Sage Accounting, integration with Sage 5, FreshBooks, Wave, and Zoho Books. And then Sage 3 is Sage 100 Contractors. Okay, that's, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know there's 10, but anyway. 9 implementation integration, doing a full sync between customers, invoice payments, purchase orders, and then bidirectional sync. So pulling in the accounting, pulling in all of the core architecture, pulling in all the product rules, pulling in also this task that I'm showing you here right now is one-shotted with 5.6. Okay, one shot. So from end to end, let me just show you. So hang on, let me get rid of this side panel. So yeah, here. Okay, the entire, so once I did the planning, I went through the entire ticket, went through the entire plan, and one epic full end to end. That's the type of stuff that I'm doing to push Claude, right? So let me see how many tickets in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tickets, one shot. Run this, do this. That's literally what the instruction was. It was like, take this epic, implement all the details, tell me when it's done. So it did all of the integrations, and then it wrote even a Rust application to do the QuickBooks Desktop implication. That's how crazy it is. Hey, Colette, nice to see you. Good day as always. And then we have Chulo. Man, how do I pronounce that? Chulo, maybe. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm bad with the name, so yeah. There's that. But yeah, so anyway, so for Soul, and this is, by the way, this is on Soul 5.6 High. Okay, so Soul 5.6 High is fantastic at just executing. And you know what I've recently figured out, because what's crazy is that we had Fable, and then government says, hey, can't use Fable, so we had to go back to 4.8. And man, I gotta be honest with you, when I went back to 4.8, it felt like I was just consistently like having to tell the AI what to do, which is a really, really big problem. So what I figured out is to save tokens, and actually I can't claim I figured this out on my own. Tio was the one from YouTube that I saw this, and I was like, that's a great idea. I'm passing it on to you guys, because that's what this channel is about, sharing knowledge. I use Fable to do the planning. So I tell Fable, hey, can you go through and figure out the plan for this particular feature, whatever the feature is? And let Fable go through and step by step go through all of the details of coming out to the plan. It goes through, it combs the entire thing. And then what I tell it inside of that instructions, I said, I'd like for you to come up with a plan, and you're going to give the plan to a dumber AI model, which means you're not going to be the one that's responsible for doing the work. You're going to give it to a less capable AI model. And as a result, you have to give it very, very specific instructions. And I found that this actually works really, really brilliantly because you get the big AI to plan out all the work, and it does a fantastic job of giving granular details so that the next AI could pick it up and actually complete the work without having to do it. And when I did that, now I dropped it down to 4.8, which is not necessarily it's not a stupid model. It's not a sonnet model, but in dropping it down to 4.8, things that I normally see 4.8 would kind of fall at, it was able to just complete in one shot because it had a really, really good, solid plan from Fable. So I would highly recommend that you guys do that sort of approach. Get Fable to do the big stuff because then you're not using up all your tokens on Fable. Get it to do the full planning. Get it to create the GitHub issues, and then tell it to link all of the issues together to then do the smaller, get the smaller AI to do it, right? Question. So Bantu says, okay, I got you. Chulo. Thank you, Colette. Thank you. Always helping out a dyslexic person on the internet. I appreciate you. How will the testing be done? That's cumbersome. The testing for Fable. I'll show you a couple of ways to do testing in a sec. And then let me see the other question here. Hi Dwayne. Are you integrating those endpoints you itemize into your CRM? If so, what those integration tasks do? Yes, the answer is yes to your question. I am integrating them into my CRM system. I don't like to call it a CRM system because technically it's a little bit more, but yes. So I'll give you the high level, and then I'll give you the specifics to your thing, and then I'll go back to the testing question because they're both related. So let me switch accounts here. Get an actual account that I could go in and play around with and do some stuff. So let me pull up a demo account. Demo Snapseed. Yeah, there we go. I think this is the right one. So on the integration, there's a couple things that I've been really, really thinking about when it comes to integration. One of them being, do I want to control my own integration or do I want to outsource it? I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to control the integration for most of like 90% of the things that I want to do. Why? Because it's easy to do in today's world. There was a time when we tried to do integration. I remember back in 2012. Yes, I'm dating myself here. But we built out a QuickBooks integration, and it was a desktop application. And my developers at the time really, really struggled with doing the details because QuickBooks is actually a really archaic system. It's actually from the 80s, the 1980s, and the core technology for QuickBooks is still technology from the 1980s to this day. They've modernized it, but it's basically a wrapper on a really old technology. And so as a result, the integration was very, very cumbersome. We took months to get that integration right. And it had tons of problems, bidirectional sync issues. The customer would go into our system, do one thing, and then they would go into the other system and do one thing. It didn't have a way to properly deal with conflicts. Just a ton of problems. However, in today's world, there's tons of companies before today's world, as a result of that, because integration was so complex, there's tons of companies that can do integration for you, but they're like legit $50,000 plus in order to like get a real company to do integrations for you, and they'll handle every single thing, but you just got to pay quite a bit of fee. Well, if you're a startup like myself or other companies, dropping 50 G's on just integration when you haven't made any money from a client, it's just a lot of money to spend. And frankly, you probably don't even have the money to spend on it. So for us, it was just an unfeasible thing to do at the time. Fast forward to today, there's tools like N8N, right? N8N, you guys know this, N8N, right? Which is a really good automation tool, by the way. And make.com, right? That you can use, or Zapier. Those are the three big ones at APIER. Okay, so these are the three big integration tools that you can use on the market that will just deal with all this complexity of dealing with integrations. We will integrate with these guys. However, because AI has gotten so good of lately, I'm trying to ensure that we don't depend on any third party for any major integration. We just build it ourselves. So let me give you the example now, and then I'll jump to the testing part of the question. So in here, I come into the demo account here. We got external integrations, and we got an integration. Doesn't matter what these companies are. Just batch dialer, cal.com, calendly.com, facebook.com, obviously Gmail, HubSpot, Make, right? WhatsApp, I just did that last month. QuickBooks Enterprise, Pipedrive, like you name it. We've taken all of the big, like complex integration. I've basically taken, and I basically built out a model where each one of these integration is essentially a Cloudflare worker. That's how you need to think about it for Cloudflare. Okay. To answer your question more specifically about what does it do, so for example, the Facebook one is a good example. When you connect Facebook, it actually brings in the leads from, like, so for example, on the Facebook one, we have people, like we run Facebook ads to get leads. When those leads come in on Facebook because they filled out the Facebook form, it comes straight into this system directly in here. And then I could come in and have the system automatically send out either text message or a WhatsApp message, or coming soon will be Instagram and Facebook messages. So that's basically what it's doing from an integration of a CRM standpoint. In the case of QuickBooks, we'll be pulling in the customer's data from their QuickBooks. And that's why we need the integration, right? But this model, fast forward even a week ago, I couldn't do such a big task on a one shot. What I would have to do is I'd have to say, okay, I'm going to work on Sage Accounting and let me do the integration for that. Then I'm going to work on, say, QuickBooks Accounting, and I'll do the integration for that. So to be able to plan this entire thing out in one step, come up with all the tickets, and then have the AI just basically run the entire thing, it's crazy. And that's basically what I've been able to do, to answer your question specifically, David. On the testing side, band two, on the testing side, the way how we do tests is two different things. Number one is if we build a feature out. So let's say we build, okay, let's go with the QuickBooks integration type stuff. What we would normally do is we would get the AI, after it finished building, to spin up a browser and click through to do the testing. This is where Sol is really good. 5.6 Sol is very, very good at this. So we would get it to do the testing through the browser, and then only when we validate it, because I would then go into human being and validate it, then I'll get the AI to basically create a test for it. And those tests run as a GitHub Actions, right? So you see here, tests, 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 right? If I click into this test as an example, I know the tests, oh, this is a skip test, but let me see if I could find one that actually ran. So if I come into any one of these tests where they actually ran, I can see the full breakdown of the entire test. This is Snapsuite deployment smoke test, build summary, right? I can see the full deployment at the end of exactly what it tests. So I know that I have the confidence to do the deployment, okay? The good news is I don't have to write those tests. What I'm doing is building the feature, getting the AI to spin up a browser and test the entire thing to make sure it works, then tell me what I need to test. I go in and test it as a human being. Once I know it's working, I write an automated test so that every time we do a deployment, that automated test runs and sort of gets the, validate the entire thing altogether, right? Hopefully that makes sense to your question. All right. So, so yeah, like I said, doing this is insane. Like, this is insane. Okay, that's on Fable. The other thing I got it to do, sorry, not Fable, GPT 5.6. The other thing I got it to do is do the sign up process for me for Snapsuite. So this is a different app, but this is the sign up process. It went through, did the whole thing. I got some configuration to do with the URL for thing. But you know what I'm going to do? Let me just do lead score. No, get lead score to AI. So here, it went through, and this is Fable now. Fable is just really good at design. This design here, 100% from Fable. And I didn't have to do a lot. Like, honestly, I didn't have to do a lot. It's kind of crazy how good this, like, the design from Fable is. Now, mind you, I did go to 21 Dev. For those who don't know, 21 Dev is a website that basically helps you to find components and things like that. So I did go to 21 Dev, and at least I came into the not borders. It's, where is it? I think it's not annotation. Man, now I'm losing my mind here. But templates, is it? Yeah, okay, right, that's right. Yeah, so if I go back here and I go to Teams, there we go. Yes, I did go to 21 Devs, and I got a color scheme for it, for the application, so that it has sort of the full brand in Elements. I would recommend that you do this. The cool thing is you can just copy the UI design language, so that you put it in your AI as an actual design specification, and then you're able to go just full ham on design with and tell it to just reference the the team design, and then you're good to go, right? Like that's basically what I did, and that helped me to kind of keep it on, guardrail for this type of design stuff. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. We're gonna move on a little bit here, because I want to actually do some real work, live work today. I haven't used 5.6 Terra and Luna much, to be honest with you. And I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I'm going to use it. To be honest with you, I'm struggling to figure out when I should use Terra, because no, they're saying, at least the recommendation is that when you're looking for something that's a little bit more low cost and a little more balance between power and speed, and this just sounds like Sonnet to me, right? 5.6 Sonnet. I would replace, if you replace 5.6 with Sonnet 5, it'd be the same thing, in my opinion. Okay, so I personally am not interested in using secondary class model for the work that I'm doing. I'd rather pay and just get the best bang for my buck, because then at least I know it's gone through most of the details and just it's gotten things right. So I'll go down from a soul to a soul, from a soul high to a soul medium. That's the way how I'm kind of dealing with things right now, right? Instead of staying on high all the time, I'll go down to a medium effort. And if I really need to bang out, for example, like that task that I showed you guys with the QuickBooks, that was on extra high, because it just turned away for like an hour or something like that. Hang on a second. 1 second. Let me just check my stat. I know I'm getting one of those pop-ups. Give me 1 second here. Come on. Where's my studio? Yeah, here we go. 1 second, because sometimes it tends to pop these questions up and then it doesn't. Yeah. Oh, by the way, interestingly enough, today is our 26th, which is crazy, by the way. Actually, that's actually crazy, because I'm trying to think. So today officially marks my 26th live stream in a row, which is unbelievable to think about it. I've done 26 of these things back to back every single week, no questions asked. I'm pretty proud of that, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, because that's half of a year of streaming. So, pat myself on the back for that. Congratulations. Um, Thank you, Colette, for the cake. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, hey, how is the launch going? 3:26. We'll take a little break and we'll get some follow-ups. I joined your fan club for 3 months. Yay! Hey, congratulations. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I'm still pretending like I'm a newbie. You think by now I understand what that means, but you know, it is what it is. How's the live going? Can we pop you up and get some answers on the live? Like I'm very curious on what's going on there. Um, Let me know if we can, and then if yeah, okay, fair enough. So we'll do that because I'm very curious, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. So go live. Oh my goodness, co-host. Now multi guest. There we go, multi guest. They made changes to this platform again every week. Okay, hang on. No, that's not multi guest. Invite. There we go. Invitation sent. Oh, hang on. I got to do one more thing. I got to do my sound thingy so we don't keep the other people out in the room. Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Been busy. Been
Mhm.
busy.
Busy
Yeah.
launching or busy working? Or busy making
Both.
excuse?
No, both. I mean, go live. Go. I've been. I bought another domain
Okay.
for marketing purposes
Right.
because go live dot cm brand studio
Mm-hmm.
doesn't quite work well. So
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
yeah, right.
Okay.
However, so I got go-live-ready.com. I
Okay.
bought that. And so that is a simple way of presenting marketing of the product. And it just redirects right now to the go live dot the subdomain.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So so I've just been marketing that, on LinkedIn, social media, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. People are actually using it.
Okay.
However, I am moving on to other bigger and better things, still doing that. When we have so many things that we're doing, it's just funny. I'm working on two separate projects of my own,
Okay.
and then I actually got a job
Oh,
for a
congratulations.
project. It's not a job. It's a private redesign. Well, it's not a redesign. Somebody basically had a WordPress website,
Yeah.
and he was locked out of his own site.
Got it.
So I've been helping him in the last 3 weeks to get his domain redirected. All that
Okay.
other stuff.
But you're
So
getting paid for
he's
it.
wanting. I'm getting paid for it.
Then it's a
I've
client,
already
and
gotten.
congratulations.
Yes. Well, thank you. So another thing that I'm actually making, and it's almost live, is small. It's for small, and you could be on it too. Well, no, you can't because you're in Canada.
Okay.
This one is U.S. based directory only,
Okay.
not for small businesses. Because in the United States,
Yeah.
I found this out through research. In the United States, a small business is considered anything with employees 500 and under.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about those of us who have under 20 employees
Right.
or solo entrepreneurs, that
Got
kind of
it.
stuff?
Yeah.
We do not have the market, we don't have the budget
Yep.
or the marketing ability
Yep.
to advertise ourselves.
Got
So
it.
we get lost in the mix of, the Yelps and the
Yep.
other
Mm-hmm.
places, that kind of thing. So I've created a directory just for micro businesses
Okay.
only, and it's in the US, and you must be owner led.
Got it. Okay. Founder-led businesses. Got
So
it.
yeah, so that is one thing that I'm currently working on. It's almost done.
Okay.
I just gotta do the endpoints and stuff. I've done most of it in this database and stuff, but yeah, I'm working on that.
Got it.
And
So
I'm gonna have it for free. It's gonna
got
be
it.
free listing. However,
Yeah.
there will be a tier to be seen for featured, that kind of stuff,
Got
and
it.
then also promoting, do you need a website
Got
before
it.
you go, like that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
doing upselling.
Yeah, kind of like the yellow page.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like the yellow page. I've done this business model before. In another life, in another world, um, I ran a yellow page company in the Caribbean, and we
Mm-hmm.
had about 60,000 listings. We called them at the time on on the website. The challenge that we ran into, similar model, free listing. You get a free listing. If you wanted to pay $5 a month, you could get it sort of hoisted up to the top in your category. And then if you wanted a full page, like a one pager kind of deal, I think it was, I don't know, let's call it, I think it was like $600 a year or something. So from $60 a
Mm-hmm.
year to $600 a year for like a one page promotional type of thing. Had your name, had your logo, had some images and a sort of description, and then like a link to your website kind of deal. And then if you wanted, like you get, like a full website, it was like 25 or $3,500. So that was kind of the upsell model. The thing that we ran into, this is different from you, but I'm just telling you my experience. The thing that we ran into was, the problem was, we had a ton of free listings. We didn't have a lot of paid because the conversion was a little bit low. Specifically in the Caribbean, we had a hard time collecting money, and this was because of credit card. It was just a different era at a different time, right? You don't have that problem
Yeah.
today with Stripe,
Mm-hmm.
but the conversion is always a challenge. So here's what I'll say to you: getting people to list on your platform for free is not necessarily a problem, especially with these micro businesses that you're going to do. In fact, the right business model for this type of stuff is you just go list everybody. You don't ask for permission. You just list
Yep, I
everybody.
do. Yep, and then
Um,
they can
Correct.
claim
That's
that
exactly it. Yes.
listing.
So that's the right
Mm-hmm.
business model. You got the idea. It makes a lot of sense. The challenge is because they're small, most of them don't really see or understand the value. And the way you're gonna have to figure out, like, what is the real value of
The value of
for
painting.
to them.
Let me
Yes.
let me explain it to you. The value of painting. You know what I do for a living. You know my
Yes.
history. I have a vast design,
Yes.
marketing, advertising. With the paid, you will be given an actual kit
Okay.
for you to
To do
that
marketing.
that is included. Yeah, to
Got
do
it.
marketing for
Okay.
your
Understood.
business.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of a package deal kind of deal. That's fantastic
Yes.
because that's exactly what I was getting at. Like you have
And
to
then
provide some value add.
I'm also going to be explaining too, and it will be connected to my website
Yeah.
as well. A SEO. Everybody knows what SEO is, but they
Yes.
don't know what AEO is.
Right.
They don't
Yes.
understand that
Yeah.
there's a difference, and because when people search now, they're getting the AI modes or
Correct.
responses,
Yes.
and so people don't physically need to go to
To
your
the
website.
website.
So how
Yes.
do you?
Yeah.
So I will be doing all of that educating as well. So
Yeah.
that is the value I'll be bringing.
Got it. So here, okay, a couple of recommendations. Okay. Uh, do not focus on the solopreneur. You will
Okay.
burn out before you make a real business out of it. I know that you want to help them. I do too. But there's a real cost and time, right? There's limited time in the world kind of deal. So you, I would say, I don't know, I would say less than anything. I think less than 10 employees. Like, it's not your focus. If they jump on the website and they list themselves, sure, that's totally cool. But your focus is like 10 employees and higher. Let's call it like 10 to 50 or something like that. Like,
Because I originally said 20 and down, and that's because I have a vast I have basically I have a network
okay,
of actual people that have under 20 employees, and it's not, 2 employees. We're
okay,
talking about yeah, 5 to
okay, fair
20,
enough.
but
Yeah,
they're doing numbers. They're doing money
right.
as a bigger company.
Got it. So as long as the revenue, so it's a revenue or employee, right? Because sometimes you have the employees, but you don't have the revenue. and then sometimes you have no employees, but you have to right. You know what I mean, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of the sweet spot type of deal. Like real estate is an example, right? You might have 3 employees, but you're doing like millions.
Yeah. Right.
And then the reverse could also be so that's important. But the only caveat I could think about with this entire thing is I would challenge you to kind of pick a niche. And I know, like with a
Okay.
directory service, you kind of want to keep it open, but there is a problem with that in that you keep it open to everybody and then you kind of serve nobody. So, but if you say this is a directory for medical professionals or a directory for dentists or a directory for manufacturers, right? Like whatever that gives.
I had actually thought about having a subdirectory that I push.
Yeah.
For example, the big thing that's going on in the US now is black owned businesses.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have a
100%.
subdirectory where when they hit that link,
Yeah.
subdirectory, all they get is the black owned businesses or
Fine.
the
Yeah.
Latino, whatever they want to be.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So totally, I definitely would recommend that because it forces you into the categories and it forces you, um, whoever that person is, to kind of be able to identify with it, right? Because the real question that they'd be
Mm-hmm.
asking is like, well, why would I list on yours versus, I don't know, Yelp or listing or whatever? If
And then another thing that I noticed in researching, there's a lot of them require Google address or
Mhm.
some kind of physical address.
Yes,
I don't have a physical address that I'm putting up. I can do worldwide. I'm remote, so I
yeah,
have a remote section,
yes,
a virtual people. So
yeah. Except that you want to make sure that obviously they're verified and all that kind of stuff, in some
yes,
circle
yes,
that's online. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. No, you're 100%
Mm-hmm.
on the right path here. The thing that I would definitely push you towards is to specialize. Pick a couple even if you branch
Okay.
out later on, right? Even if you branch out
Okay.
later, start with a category. Pick your, you said you had a bunch of contacts. Pick the contacts, the one that you have the most contacts for, so you could test in that market, and then just
Mm-hmm.
hyper focus on it and just pitch it to them as like for them. Later on, you could always branch out. You could change it. You could have subdomains or whatever. There's 100 different ways to spin this. Think of your developer world. So you know Stack Overflow, right? like
Yeah. Right.
like most people, us developers, we know Stack Overflow because yeah, before AI
Mm-hmm.
it was Stack Overflow.
Yep.
Okay, so that's just where you go.
And Reddit.
However, most people don't know that Stack Overflow had Stack Exchange, right? And then there was like a subcategory for geez, for the biotech people. There was a subcategory for the people that wrote poems. There was a subcategory for the people that were in space, all under Stack Overflow, the company. But most
Mm-hmm.
people didn't know that. You can still Google it. They just go look and all the, like, in fact, I'll pull it up right now. Here, how many sub brands did Stack Overflow have for the different categories? And give me a list of them. Okay. And now I'll go, it's on easy, so it just give me its instant answer, because there's a whole bunch of different categories that most people didn't know, because we only know. So here, right? Stack Overflow general program. Stack and Exchange was for networking, specializing in, right, server faults and all that kind of stuff. Then they have Meta discussion about right, okay, right, well, they had their own thing, but here was the where was it, there was Stack. Oh my goodness, where's the categories? What are all the categories that they supported? Hang on, I'll tell you. What are all the categories that Stack Overflow um, existed in? Like, what were the different forums or sub businesses that they had there? Because it was a lot. It was like a whole bunch of them. I'm pretty certain there was a whole bunch of categories. Stack Exchange, yeah. See, 180 plus specialized Q&A communities. That's what it is. This one here. So I want
Mm.
Stack Exchange is what we're thinking, but it's all under the same row. Yeah. So here, this is a list here. So server faults, user. This is about computer and power users. Ask Ubuntu, Unix, desktop. Like they literally subcategorize on every single thing. Most people were just familiar with Stack Overflow, but they had categories for every single thing, and every one of those was its own website, right? So, so what you do is but when they started as just Stack Overflow. But once they figured out the business model and they understood exactly how it worked, then they kind of start, separating into these other brands. And like I said, Stack Overflow was
Mm-hmm.
the most popular. So that's how I would attack this, because it forces you to kind of just work through the category, the industries, the problems, get the feedback, refine it, fine tune the details, and then you literally just cookie cutter all the other industries altogether, right? And you
Okay.
prove out your assumption. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. But I want to be clear with this: these are two completely different businesses that you're going after. Great, this marketing platform, which is great, and it sounds to me, because you just said it, but I'm paraphrasing your thought process here, is that you are trying to create a lead gen so you could do the thing that you do at the back, which is the marketing, right? Like
Right.
that, like that's what it
That
sounds
yeah,
like to me.
they only get the marketing and the web development or my skills
Yes.
if they do the paid version.
Yeah. So if they upsell, right, which is fantastic, but I want to also be clear that the business that you're doing right now, which is the go live ready thing, which I love, by the way, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's one of my favorite businesses, and all the people in this community. And I'm not just saying that because you're one of my favorites. I'm saying that in general because I generally believe it's great.
I'm your biggest fan.
You absolutely
That's
are,
why
for
you're saying
sure.
it.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm
But
kidding.
I really really love this business because I actually believe that, like, it's a quick market where you could just keep iterating, and you could go really fast. And sure, it might not be like a $1 billion business, but you could get to I don't know, 20-30K in revenue fairly fast with this business if you hyper focus on it. I believe that. Like, I genuinely believe that the market is there. Like, times are changing so fast. We know the world is changing. Things are going chaotic. This AI thing is here, and people need guidance. And I believe that this business actually solves a really good niche. My concern for you, as a fellow entrepreneur, from one entrepreneur to next, as a person that have done this and failed at it 100 different times, is that you dilute yourself too much, and you don't succeed on the solo entrepreneur like this ready, go ready live business, but you also do the same thing on the directory side, and then you're now in a bunch of diluted businesses with no real effort. This is
Mm-hmm.
how entrepreneurs fail. Okay, and I'm talking from experience, so I'm telling you this because it's like I don't want to see this for you. Okay, so knowing that this is a really really solid business, and knowing that you're also kind of doing these side projects, it really really sort of like puts you in that category of like, yeah, typical entrepreneur type dilemma, right? So you're gonna have to make
No,
some
I'm
hard
still I'm
choices.
still pushing. I'm still pushing it. I am.
Oh, I
I
don't doubt
am
that. I
still
don't doubt
pushing
that.
it. But keep in mind,
Hmm.
I create things that solve pain points.
Yes.
And a pain point for me
Yeah.
and for you
Yeah.
is being seen
Right.
because we don't have the marketing budget.
Yeah.
So it goes well with my brand. My
Okay.
brand is about the small business
Yeah, I
owner
got you. I got
and
you.
helping them to, you see, the Go Ready Live helps small businesses, and
Yeah.
so it's not mainly for creators, although it looks like it's mainly for creators,
Got it.
but it's mainly for people that are trying to sell a product or promote X, Y, and Z and train them. Did you see the post that I made in your
I
school?
saw your post. Yes. Yes. But I didn't go to the
Not
detail.
the one I did today, not the one
Okay.
I did today, but during one of my lives
Yes.
promoting it,
Yes.
one of the a guy from a TT agency
Okay.
came in my live
Yeah.
and basically was saying, "Well, why should I pay for this? Why should I pay for this when I can just do it myself on ChatGPT or some LLM
Yeah.
myself?" And you can read what I said. You can read it what I
Yeah.
said.
So,
You can find it.
no, ready to, why, wait, this one here. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Um, because not everyone wants to build a system themselves. Yeah, no, 100%. You're 100% right about that. So here's the thing. First of all, that guy that said this, he's not your audience. So
And that's exactly what I said. He's not my target audience, but
yeah,
I explained that.
yeah,
But see, what I'm doing is, as a entrepreneur starting out after working in this industry for 25 years,
yeah,
I'm not just showing the positive side.
yes,
I'm showing the negative
the whole
side,
thing.
the
Yes,
naysayers,
yes,
and then and people saw this live as
yeah,
it happening, and it's like, well, why do you pay $1 for water, bottled
yes,
water,
yeah.
at the grocery
When you
store?
could go
A
dip it from
dollar
the lake.
fifty, $2. Exactly, water is free, but people pay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the same mentality, and I made a video on my page about this too. It's like when
yes,
I started developing,
yeah,
my first development was a fitness app.
yeah,
It was a PWA fitness app where they can download it
yeah,
onto their device.
yeah.
No subscription, none of that, right?
Correct. Yes.
People did not understand the no subscription part. And
Right.
it's like, what is wrong with everyone's mindset
Yeah.
that they don't understand something that's free? They don't have to keep paying for it.
Yeah.
It's there. And you see what's happening with video games now.
Yes.
So it's just like, we have to also change our mindset
Yeah.
with these people that are acting
So, so
weird.
yeah. So let me tell you what the problem is there. You're targeting the wrong audience. It's a too small of an audience because they haven't hit the pain point. Okay. I was having actually one of our community school member. I had a conversation with him today. Um, about this. So he's starting a new business.
Hmm.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind saying this, but this is Paul work from home. He's in the community. He wants to start a new business, and I told him it is the exact same thing. I said, listen, the people that you need to go after are the ones that are a little bit more established. Call them 10 employees. Same thing I'm telling you, 10 employees to 50 employees or something around that lines. And the reason why is because I've experienced this before in the past. My software, I used to try and sell it for to like solo founders, people with 2 employees, 3 employees, etc. And the thing that I ran into is that they would always compare my product that I was selling at $350 and $500 a month and $1,000 a month to something that was like $29 a month. And it is true that there was some comparison. But what they didn't fail to realize was that I was doing a lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes to help them onboard onto the platform. Whereas a $29
Hmm.
a month solution,
Yep.
what would happen is they would just give you the platform and just on you, go read the documentation, go figure
Yep.
it out, right?
Hmm.
So that was the distinction. So I didn't understand it at the time. And so I said, oh, I need to drop my prices. So I didn't drop it to 29, but what I did is I dropped it to $99 a month, $100 a month. Okay, to try and think. And sure enough, we landed customers that were solo founders. Yeah, people had 2 employees, maybe 3 employees, that kind of stuff. And quickly, we started spending a whole bunch of time answering and trying to get them on the platform for $99 a month. We spent like an entire week working with them. It was just not worth it. It was just a waste of our
Mm.
time and energy. And frankly, half of them would just like in 2 3 months they would just get off the platform because they're not using it enough, and they would just think. The primary
Right.
reason for this problem is because they aren't feeling the pain that you're solving. Okay, and you're trying to convince
Okay.
them that they need that thing solved, right? It's like, oh, you know what, you have a small business right now, but you need to be on TikTok, and if you're on TikTok you could get more audience. That's not the person that you want to sell to. What is going on? Oh my goodness, really? You're kidding me, in the middle of my live. Jeez. So we lost. Oh my goodness, go live again. Sorry, my TikTok just something just everything just cranked out for a bit, so I lost our guest. But okay, we're gonna continue with. I'm gonna see if I could invite her up again. Let me see if I can do this very quickly. Multi guest. TikTok for because of inactivity. That's so funny. So invite. Oh my goodness. No users yet. Refresh. Members, guests, history. Of course. Okay, we gotta wait until it kicks back in. Sorry. Anyway, I lost a guess. I'll just continue my train of thought while the lives get caught up back. But basically, what I was trying to explain to our guests was that, sorry guys, I don't know what happened. We just got kicked out of of TikTok. We lost you on TikTok. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It came back. For some reason, it was telling me that due to inactivity, which is so weird. So hang on, let me see if I can bring you back up now. Let me see, Colette. Say hi. Yeah, I'm back now. So let me see if I could get you to come back in. Invite. Refresh. How do I? You're not showing up in the list now. Great. Okay, there we go. No, Nemo. For whatever reason, it's not showing you in the list, Colette. I don't know why. Anyway, I'll continue my train of thought. I'll continue my train of thought. Well, let me see if I could add. Yeah, no, I can't. Can't get you back on. For some reason, invite. No, just okay. Hopefully he'll come back. But anyway, that's fine. What I was saying to you was, this idea when you sell to truly small businesses like one man show or whatever, there's nothing wrong with them. Like think, but you're in a price war. You're always in a price war at that level, and when you're at a price war at that level, the issue will always be that you're going to be trying to justify why your product is better. You don't want to be playing that game. Okay. So I'm going to give you a better thought. Just bear with me for 1 second because I really like, I think what you're doing could be merged together. I'm going to give you a totally different train of thought that may or may not work and just take it as a grain of salt. It is what it is. Okay. But I'm just going to tell you. So, here's a thought process. If you use your Go Live Ready as a front door, what do I mean by that? You do your lives. Let's pretend you're doing your lives on a daily basis. These are people that want to go live. They're obviously interested in going live because they're on the Go Live Ready Live platform, and you use that to funnel them into your system. And some of them may or may not um, jump on with you, right? They may or may not work with you or work with the platform or whatever, but you tell them that they're going to get a free listing. So sign up here, you get a free listing. At bare minimum, it helps you to get promotion of your, of their product, right? And then from there, you screen a certain amount of people that will use your Go Live Library platform to bring in your marketing. This way, you're kind of keeping the focus on your directory service is really a back end of the same thing, and you're hyper focused on one specific market. If you do that, then it doesn't really matter which industry you go after. You're going after one vertical, which is businesses that understand the value of going live and need help, one, to do content, and two, to do their marketing, their web, and all that kind of stuff. And even better, anybody that's trying to go live consistently already understands the value of marketing. Their mindset is already there. So the upsell is actually significantly easier if you were to do that because it's a straight funnel for you. I would encourage you to kind of think about that a little bit in detail because I think that would be the path I believe personally that you could really just ham on this product, but still accomplish sort of the back end upsell type of strategy that you're trying to go after, right? I don't know if that makes sense to you, but hopefully, like you could kind of see the vision or at least understand the direction that I think can work for you because I really believe that that there's some value there. Now, are you going to do that forever? Probably not, right? Maybe if the directory starts to work, you could kind of branch off a little bit, but channeling the two products together definitely makes a lot of sense. I'm going to give you my example of this exact same use case, okay? Like I've talked about this a couple of times, but I'll show you what I mean. So I have um, my SnapSuite business, okay? It's a thing that I do. It's contractors, it's people that does scheduling and project management and all that kind of stuff, okay? This is pure operations. This is a very, very operational heavy focus business. On the opposite side, I have a product, Lead Score. I've talked about this 100 different times. It's all about sales and marketing and all the stuff that has to do with lead generation. Okay. Now it turns out that just purely by accident, I built a management software for real estate for my brother. It's he has a company called DP Homes. He does properties in New York, real estate properties, and It's a full system that basically allows you to um, just properties at scale, property management, property, real estate, the whole nine yards. It's a full product in itself. Okay, and purely by coincidence, because he's essentially flipping these properties, just to keep it simple. Okay, he's flipping these companies, and the people that he's working with are contractors. Well, guess what? The people that need my software are the same contractors that he's working with. And so, as a result of this relationship that I have with him, right, we built this out for him. And what we're doing is the projects that he's working is getting funneled through my SnapSuite business. The SnapSuite business is taking in all of the pictures, all of the videos, every single thing we're reporting. It's sending it back to this software, and this software is basically sending it out to investors, right? Now, on the front end, he's using my lead score software in order to basically do all the outreach for the investors and all the outreach for the businesses. My point that I'm making is that if you tie these products together, you could keep your vision of having these adjacent software, but they're under the hood, they're one comprehensive vision, right? And so you doing that with your go live ready, where you kind of tie in the directory with your, it allows you to keep the same vision, keep the same vertical, but basically add extensions to the business and keep the sales funnel kind of working in sort of like a streamlined manner, right? Hopefully that makes some sense, right? So think about it, because I think that would be the direction that I would really kind of push you in. And then you have a niche, right? Like, what makes your directory different than all the other directories on there? Is it an AI directory? No. And if they're not, there's a whole bunch of other directories out there. But if you say, you know what, we're the, I don't know, the TikTok sort of solo small business entrepreneur directory for, right, creators, now you got something. And now your lives are funneling this business and is funneling the directory, which then gives you the upsell capability on the back end, right? um, and also it's very simple sell from that particular point, because um, there's a couple of things that you could do. I'm just riffing here, so take this all with a grain of salt. Your this live ready, you never have a free version of it. Okay, your free version is, hey, even if you guys don't want to work with me, at least get some exposure by listing on the TikTok directory. Let's just call it that, right? So that's the free entry level point. When they list on that directory, what do you get in? You get the name, information, phone number, details that you could then do some outreach to them, have a conversation with them, and then try to figure out how to potentially either get them to your go live ready product or upsell them on the bigger product itself, right? It just ties it all together, and you can kind of do both, right? Um, so anyway, I hopefully I've given you some value on it. I believe that you're onto something. I love this business. I can't stress this enough. I really, really love this business, right? So yeah, good, good. Glad I'm giving you some value. Who is Mimo? I need to get both of your business cards. FY business cards. What is that? I'm just playing with you, Mimo. Hey man, are you in the community? If you are in the community, message me in the community, and and join join the live. Message me in the community, and then we could jump on the call or whatever. And then we could talk. But I definitely won't be sharing any business cards with you, my friend. That's too funny. You know what? I do have some business cards around, but I stopped giving them out. Fun fact for you guys, because I don't think I've ever mentioned this on a live. I used to do Uber, so I used to do Uber, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite jobs that I've ever done. Okay, and why was I doing Uber? I was doing Uber because in between, this was before we raised some money from investors on our business. Like, I just needed to make cash flow work, and we just didn't have enough cash to pay employees and whatever. And like, throwing out my dirty laundry out here, we had gotten two interns for a project that we are working on. Anyway, long story short is the government had promised that they were going to reimburse us for hiring these employees, and then literally, I kid you guys not, midway through the program, After I'd already dished out like 20 or 30K for these guys, the government came and said, oh, we could only supply half of, we could only support half of it. Anyway, I'm not knocking the Canadian government. Yeah, some bad stuff that happened there. And so as a result, I was just low on cash, and I was like, you know what, got to find something to do. And it was just the right time. Uber was around. So I did Uber for a bit, and to this day, is still the best job that I've done. And I genuinely mean that, because I personally love driving, so I didn't have a problem with it. I do these 12-hour shifts, which were hard. I won't say they weren't easy, but made a crap ton of money. And this is me bragging here, I'll admit. Um, Uber would send me these reports, and they would say, you're in the top 1% of all drivers within Toronto performance wise. And that just made my day, because I was like, as long as I know I'm in the top, I was like, game over. Like I just love competition. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Because back then I used to give out business cards to people. In the back, I'd had these elaborate conversation with people, because the minute they jump in the car, they'd ask me these, you know, typical question like, "Hey man, how's your day?" And I was like, and I turned to them and be like, "Do you really care?" And they were like, "No, I don't mean it like that." I was like, "No, but seriously, do you actually care how my day is, or are you just saying that just for the sake of it?" And they would just be like, so shocked that I'd be so blunt about it. And I would say, like, "How's your date going? What are you doing? Like, where are you going?" Kind of stuff. And we'd get into this deep conversation really fast, which I just love to do. It would just throw people off their tracks, and then I'd have a real conversation with them. And I'd say, like, 50 or 60% of the people that came in my car, I'd end up giving out business cards to. Some two of those people actually turned into real contacts. They were investors actually, but for the most part, nobody really. They would take my business card, and I knew it just went into, the trash or the garbage. Not deliberately, it just ended up there over time. So I realized, I was like, you know what, giving business card is not the thing to do. If any single thing, I will ask you for your LinkedIn connection, and that's what I started doing. So anybody that jumped in my car and there was any kind of business connection, I would ask for a LinkedIn connection, and that helped me to kind of build up my LinkedIn connection. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'm just a long-winded way of saying I don't have any business cards, Mr. Mimo. So yeah, there's a story for you, just so you know why I don't do business cards. Which tools are you using for vibe coding? Which tools am I not using for vibe coding is probably a better question. I've tried almost all of them, from Lovable to Bolt to V0 to geez, which ones? Our Google Stitch to AI Studio. Now they're calling it AI Studio, so something else. I've used all of them, but primary right now, my drivers are Fable, Anthropic's Codex app, not the Codex CLI. I I've used it. I just don't like it. It's not my thing. But the Codec apps definitely loves that, and ChatGPT version. So the Claude app and the Fable app, those are the two that I'm using. Why am I using them? Because I get the most bang for my buck right now. Um, GPT right now is giving me about $14,000 a month in inference for $200, and Claude is giving about $8,000, or at least this is what people claim, for about $200. So I'm just max out on both of them, and that's what I'm using as my thing. Because every other model is either dependent on them, or I'm getting less value for my money. What other question we got here? So I need your help with you. Got you, Nemo. Yeah. So you're gonna join the community, Nemo, and then 12 a.m. Are you in CST or PST? I'm in EST, so Eastern time, but it doesn't matter to me. I work night or day, so just message me and we could chat. Um, and which tools are you? They got that one. So vibe coding doesn't work if you don't understand product development and positioning. Hmm. So yeah, tough, tough. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Most people, if they don't have some foundation in product development and positioning, then yeah, you're completely right. Positioning, 100%, I'll agree on. I'm starting to question and push back, whether you can. And actually, in fact, my entire school is based on the premise that I can teach non-technical people on how to do vibe coding right. And that's because I believe that if you get the foundational concepts of understanding how to prompt the model correctly, and you understand exactly how to write like a PRD, a product requirements document, and outline the true business thing that you're trying to solve for, I believe that you can get the entire thing done with AI without actually truly understanding what you're doing and kind of learn on the job. So half agree with your answer, Mr. Sorry, Annie, the playbook, the Annie playlist. For example, the HTML is AI slop because it produces pages that look all the same. Yeah, but that's not a necessary reason. Like, there's tons of stuff that look pretty much the same and they're doing, right? There's tons of products out there that almost look identical and they're still selling. Like, look at water for Pete's sake, right? Like, there's a whole shelf of water on a um I don't know, in Walmart store, for example. They're still selling, right? So people kind of got their own thing. Do you know how you mean hi in England? Sorry, I'm not sure. How are you means hi? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, got you. Sorry. How are you means hi in English? Yeah, it in England in English in how are you is, yeah, it's the equivalent of hi. I would say that. Like, I mean, in Canada, you know, somebody will be like, oh hey, and I'll be like, hey man, how are you? But I'm not expecting an answer. In fact, I'm like, I'm not even waiting for the answer. I'm just saying, hey man, how are you, which literally says hi. So yes. um can I ask a question? Of course you can. You just did, Mr. MP Fox MV. So question is done. I, you've lost your quota of question. Of course you can ask a question, man. Come on. Um, Actually, can you make professional and premium UI UX using vibe coding at the moment? You can. Yes, you are saying that you can. Yes, 100%. That is okay. This website is professional. This is a fantastic website. I love this website actually. You've added more stuff. It's simplified. It's definitely better. Something is, yeah, there's some changes here. But this is good. Now, okay, you did lower your price. I'm curious why. Because I thought you were going for $29 a month. Matter of fact, let me just say something, okay? Let me just say something. That's the only intro. Oh, that's the only the intro. Got you. Okay, okay, okay. Fair enough. Cool. But why lower it? I'm not certain I agree with this intro thing. And you only have two pricing, so why not just get them on a 29? 7-day trial, $29. Okay. You only need, let's do the math, okay? 10,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay. $10,000 divided by 29. That's 344. Let's call it 344 in terms of sales, okay? And let's just divide that by 12. Okay? You need 28 new people per month to get 28. I want to give, like, just think about this for a second. You need 28 new people to get to $10,000 in a year. Okay? That's a year. So let's do the numbers. Let me just do the numbers for you, just to make sure that you understand the problem. Why I don't agree with your $9 a month. So I want you to give me the comparison of how many users I would need to get to $10,000 a month in revenue if I were to do sell a $29 a month product versus if I were to sell a $9 a month product, and then give me the breakdown, sort of in a graph format, of how many users I would have to acquire if I wanted to do that within, let's say 8 months. Okay. So high level, right? This is basically, so 29, you need 345 paying customers. At, look at this, at $9 you need 1,000 paying customers. You see the difference? It's not like it's only $20 difference. It's, you need significantly more customers in order to get this. Okay, that's a difference of 767 additional customers just to be able to reach that. So customers required to reach 10,000 in 8 months, right? On the $29 a month, look at this. Like you need to get 345 within 8 months. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Month one, you need 43 paying customers versus 139. It's a significantly higher climb when you just drop your prices. This is one thing that solo like entrepreneurs, that newbie entrepreneurs don't necessarily understand. We're not talking about a couple of increase here. We're talking about a dramatic increase in effort. Okay. Now break this down a little bit more. So let's do like how many um let's just do this. Let's do it this way. Because I'm gonna give you real numbers. Let me see if I could find. Let me see if I could get my real numbers to use for your real numbers in real time. Okay, and I'll show you I'll tell you what I mean by it in a second. Okay, here. So on any given live, these are my numbers. Okay, this is roughly my numbers. On any given live, I have about 626 people, or it's really between 40 or something people that goes through. Okay, and I get about 15 to 20 new followers on every live that I do. Okay, so let's do the math based on those numbers because I know you can match those numbers any single day. You have more followers than me, even. So let's do it. So, given these numbers, assume that I'm going to get about a conversion rate of, let's say, 2 to 3 people, new signups. Give me the math to figure out how much effort it'll take if I were to go on live 3 times per week in order to accomplish my goal. Give me for both for the $9 a month versus the $29 a month. Okay, so let's do this so you can understand what we're dealing with here. Okay, 3 lives a week streaming. Okay, each lives get 2 to 3 new paying customers. Your goal is 10,000 in MRR. Scenario one at $29 per month, 345 customers, 2 signups. So 6 per week signups. Yeah, per week. So 6 signups per week. Weeks to goal. It'll take you 57 weeks to a goal to meet your goal. Months to goal. So it'll take you about a year. Okay, if you were to get 2 signups. If that is increased by 1 signup, you have accomplished the exact same thing in 8 months. Okay, so it's look at the difference. If you were to do the same thing at $9 per month with the 2 signups, it will take you 42 months to get there. If you were to do it with 3, it would take you 28, still double the time. Okay, so this math really matters for you to understand why lower in price and why your business is never going to be sustainable if you do a price sort of game. Okay, you stick to the number. All right, 29. In fact, if you could get that to 35 or something like that, even better. But at $29, I think it's a fair price for what you're offering for your service. And if you were to do 3 lives per week and you were to convince, like you just need to do 3, like this is easy. I'm telling you this is easy because I'm doing this right now. Okay, I get this is, that's my number, like this is right here. Okay, I got 50 new followers on average, between 15 and 20 new followers for every single live. I just allocated 1 day a week for this, right? This is how come my numbers in my school community is growing so slow, because I'm just like I'm on cruise control with this because it's not my core business. I'm just helping right now. Now I'm going to eventually turn this into something, but that's not my goal right now. It's just basically just to help people. So this is me on cruise control. If you just put just a teeny bit of effort on this, it will open up the doors in ways that you think 8 months, 3 lives per thing. I know that if you actually did this and you put some time in this, you could get more more than 3 signups per lives. I know this for sure based on the way you're selling. Okay, so think about that for a second. Think about it in relation to your directory, and I promise you, with this business model, you can actually do a substantial amount of business. Because while you're waiting for your lives to get caught up, okay, your moneymaker to get caught up, you're doing, even if you got 2 jobs or 3 jobs per month from those lives to do your marketing or whatever case is, you got a funnel that's working. So think about it this way. So let me do it this way. So how many per month is that week? So okay, let's go with the 3 lives per. Let's go with the 3 signups per live? How many signups am I going to get in a month? And then what is my conversion rate if I were to upsell 2 people at $2,500 to revamp their entire website and every single thing else? So if you do 3 lives per week, 3 paying customer signups per live, that means you get about 4.3 people, right, per week, right, on average. So 29, your member price, whatever, your membership price is $29. So 9 new customers. So here, so in a month you'll get 39 new members. And then if you were to do, where is it? Hang on, let's get it right. Okay, here. So 39 new members. No, where is it? Where is the math I'm looking for? Website upsell. Here we go. Yeah. So if you're to close 2 people per month, that's $5,000 per month, and total revenue 6,000. Let me just make it total monthly revenue after your first month. So membership added, so 1,000 monthly MRR plus the website project, you're at $6,000 per month already. If you just committed to just doing 3 lives per week and getting about 3 customers per live, that would be the math. Maybe you should get in there before I raise the price. You know what? I'm gonna. I promise you, I'm gonna spend. I've been so bad with my own lives that I don't even know what I'm talking about when I come on my live every single time. I've just happened to have enough people kind of come in that kind of keeps me going. Right? But it's a problem. It's a problem, and I promise you, this is gonna be the thing. But trust me on this here. Like, do not drop your prices. Okay, do not. If there's any single thing I could preach to you and everybody else on this call, don't get into the price war. Right? You having to do for the same amount of effort for 2 years, right, versus 1 year to get to the same. Like, that's crazy. Okay. So yeah, hopefully that helps you, Colette. I like you, so I really want to see you succeed in this, and I know that you have all the pieces in place. So don't dilute yourself. That's my recommendation to you. All right, what else we got? I'm using Replit to build an app, but I'm not sure about ownership. Could you expand on that? Okay, Mr. Forma something. I'm not gonna cross the last name. So if you're building on somebody's platform, Replit, Lovable, Bolt, V0, any of that type of stuff, you always run the risk of the platform pulling the rug from under you. Now, let's be clear. Replit, I just want to be clear, they're a reputable business, they're fine business. They're not going to pull the rug from you in the way that you're thinking, like they're going to like kill your account or any single thing. What will happen is, over time, because they have shareholders obligation and they need to grow their business, or they're going to get bought out by somebody else, the price will increase, right? So Replit wants you to keep paying, so they're going to make every single thing in their powers for you to keep paying. The problem with it is that you're going to keep paying for the same thing over and over and over and over again. What do I mean by that? Let's pretend that you built a product and the product is semi-working on Replit. You're going to keep doing bug fixes and improvements, etc. But the same amount of money that you effort or payment that you did to build the product is the same thing that you're going to keep paying month 1 versus month 12 versus month 16. Okay? My suggestion to you would be build it on Replit if it has a decent foundation, and then once you get the foundation of it, you export it to another platform. I will always tell you to go with Cloudflare because they're just the best, but go with any other provider if you think it's necessary. The other problem is that as long as it sits on Replit, you just, I mean, you're gonna have to pay somebody. Let's just be clear about it. Like, you won't get away from paying thing, but like at some point you want to be able to take control of your own development, and that means bringing it into, hell, even Claude Code at this particular point, or ChatGPT or something, where you could iterate a little bit differently and with a little bit more control over the thing. Because Replit will start to squeeze you on tokens eventually, right? So let's say today, AI was cheap. Let's say in January, AI was cheap. So you built the entire thing. Great, fantastic. Now, 12 months later, 2027 comes along, AI is more expensive. Now you need to fix a bug. Replit will charge you significantly more to fix that bug on your existing platform. Okay, so there's kind of a price war thing going on. So I would encourage you to always export your work as soon as you possibly can, bring it into your own platform, and then iterate on top of that. Obviously, that requires a little bit more knowledge and a little more education, but that's why we got people like me trying to help you out with this type of stuff. All right. And Colette says, I love Cloudflare. So there you go. Or an endorsement from both of us. Looks good, but there's the opposite argument to pricing. Remy. So the opposite. Okay, let me see if I can play devil's advocate and agree with you for a second and talk about the opposite to pricing. Okay, what is the opposite to pricing? The opposite is you raise your price too high, right? Um, and nobody buys from you. Okay, so then what's the problem? You just lower your price, right? Like there's if you raise your price too much and nobody buys, then there's one of two things that's happening. Either one, you're not targeting the right audience and therefore they don't see the value in your product, right? Like Colette said, there was this one guy that's saying, why would I use your product when I could just build it myself? Well, you're not my audience. You have some technical skills, so go build yourself. But I have tons of people out there that don't have this technical skills and don't understand the nuance of this problem that would be more than happy to pay $29 a month. So if you charge $29 a month for a product and somebody buys it, like that's the upside. The downside is maybe they don't buy it and you lower your price to maybe $19 a month, right? So you have to test the market. Supermarkets do this all the time, right? They I don't know, take banana or some craziness. I don't go to a supermarket, but I'm ashamed to say this. My wife does, but it is what it is. So, banana at, I don't know, $5 or $10 or whatever, and then eventually they're gonna see, oh, nobody's buying the banana, so it's gonna spoil. So what do? We put it on sale for maybe $3 or something like that, right? Like I don't know what the cost of banana is. Okay, don't hold me to these prices. But the point is that when you see that the market is not buying enough or the product is not moving enough, you lower your prices. But this idea entrepreneurs have, which is mostly new entrepreneurs, is that they're going to start low. Well, guess what? If you start low, you can't go down more. What are you going to do? Move your product from $9 to $6 or what, $5? Then you'll be like, it'll take you 10 years to accomplish the same amount of goal of getting to even $10,000 a month. Okay. So there's a fallacy about price. There's a price for every level of the chain. Okay. There's some people that will not buy the $29 a month solution because it's just too cheap. It just feels cheap. But if you change that price and you target the $2,900 a month, maybe somebody will buy it. And the reason why they'll buy it is because it's a premium. They just want to pay a premium, right? People that have money, right, just pay premium just because it's more expensive and they just want the thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's way better. It just means that they just feel better about themselves buying the more expensive thing. They don't want to buy cheap because they have money, right? I know it's a weird thing for poor people to do that don't understand it, but listen, I've been poor my entire life, so I understand this very well, right? When you don't have money, you penny pinch. But when you got tons of money, none of this stuff matters. You want to buy the most expensive thing because you want to show everybody that you bought the most expensive thing. You want to be VIP, right? It's just how it is. So don't not give those people opportunities to buy your expensive thing. And this is not even expensive. This is $29 a month. Like it's I don't know, a Starbucks coffee these days. Okay, so yeah, don't get into the price war, guys. You're gonna lose every single time, and you will never ever build a successful business. I promise you this. Then maybe you should. Oh, right, yeah, you did read that one. Then that's why I use GitHub and yeah, have my files backed up there. Yeah, 100%, always, right? Back up your files, even though you're using the Replit, Remy. Try to link that into GitHub. So in the event that Replit decides to hike their price up or do some craziness, or I don't know, delete your files, they won't do that. But just in case, you have a backup somewhere else, right? So great guidance, Dwayne. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mimo. Um, like I said, I don't have any business cards for you, but if I do, I'll give you one someday. Yeah, let's talk, Mimo. Let's chat. Like I said, message me in the community. Let's chat, and let me see if I can help you out with your goal of what you're doing. Right. So listen, you guys are always a pleasure to just hang out with and chill. I always feel that this live kind of gets going later in the afternoon, and I think that I understand the reason why, because it's Friday, everybody's coming off of work, so it's thing. And then when things start get going, I'm like, oh shoots, I gotta go pick up my kid. Bye. um, I have a little more time today, so we'll kind of hang around for a bit, and then we'll go. I'm building slash vibe coding resume builder, but how I don't, but now I don't know how to launch slash pricing. Okay. um I don't want to burst your bubble, but I might have to. I'm just kidding. No problem, call it. I'm more than happy to give advice any single time. At least somebody's listening to me. Okay. My wife tells me I talk too much, so I come on the internet and I just blab. It allows me to just release all the craziness that's in my brain. Okay, so at least somebody's listening. Mr. Jem Rossett. Okay, so here's what I'll say to this. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your business, but I want to at least enlighten you about a problem, which is kind of similar to what the theme that we are talking about, because we're on this pricing topic right now. Okay, didn't talk about any single thing that we're supposed to talk about, which is Fable. If you're doing a resume builder, it means that the people that you're targeting don't have a job. Does that make sense? Right? You're building a resume builder because they need to improve their resume, therefore they're looking for a job. So by definition, and I promise you, I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but I'm trying to make you think through the problem here, okay? By definition of building this resume builder, you are targeting a bunch of jobless people. Now, that's not 100% true, because you might have people that are trying to transition from jobs, haven't updated their resume in 10 years, and now they're trying to get a better resume, right? So I would encourage you to make that your audience, right? So what does that translate to? It translates to, you might have to give away a free version of your product to attract customers in the market, etc., right? Or get the word out about your product. Target the job boards, the communities, all that kind of stuff to get people to use your product. And find the one thing, okay? There's going to be a couple of things that they're going to use. You get the feedback. There's going to be one or two things that they'll use that you'll notice that if you were to take away that thing, or you to ask them, hey, so okay, let me simplify it. Get 10 people to use the resume builder, post in the job community, hey guys, I got a resume builder that could help you to improve your resume. It'll guarantee to get a job within 30 days. Don't make that claim, but something of the sort, okay? If not, we work with you to help you find a job, all right? Something like that, so that you have out on your promise. And in doing so, you will find a few people that will tell you, oh man, this thing that you did here in this tool is really, really good. Okay. Find that thing, whatever that thing is in your resume builder. I don't know the details of your tool, so I can't really speak to it on a focus level, but I could give you the general concept. Find that thing. And that thing, whatever you find, that's the thing that you're going to put in behind a paywall. So let's pretend it's just to keep the conversation simple. Let's say you build a resume builder, but they only get an online version. Okay. But if they want to convert it to PDF, they have to pay, I don't know, $5 to give you a PDF version of that thing, because most people have to upload their PDF or send their PDF by email. So they get a link to the a free link to the tool or to the resume. But if they have to download it as a PDF, they have to pay for it. Okay, let's pretend that that's the thing that you give them. Um, from there, you would basically sort of like evaluate the value of the tool. So one is the cost, which is obvious in this particular case. Now you can use a free tool for this, so it might not cost you that much. But two, what is the value to the person that needs this PDF that you're giving them? And the value is that if they don't get this thing, they can't get a job. What is the job value to them? I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 a year, right? Whatever it is. And so based on that value, you could charge a percentage, or that's one way to think about it. Or you just say, you know what, hey, this job is going to land you, like I'll say, if we have AI today, so we could do this, right? You could say, oh, based on your resume, we think that you can get a job with a salary of XYZ based on your industry and based on the region that you're thinking. You could do that with AI very easily. And so you could say, okay, let's say the job is going to, let's say it's going to be a, I don't know, 70,000 a year job as an example. Okay. You say this job, this resume is going to give you, put you in a position to give you a 70,000 a year salary. For the very low price of $9.99, you could click this button to download the PDF, right? So what you've done is you've kind of anchored this high salary or input that they're going to get with your lower number that allows you to just click that one button. They're like, yeah, I'll pay $9 or $9.99 or whatever it is, to get my PDF, because I'm going to get a $70,000 job, right? So you're kind of doing this anchoring thing. Really great way to deal with pricing. And the best way to do it is you just test the market. Like, you could set this up with AI, right? Do a $29 a month version, do a $19 a month, do a $9.99 version, do a $4.99 version, right? And say for every 100 user, I'm going to randomly sort of like rotate the pricing to kind of figure out which most people bought the $4.99 version, or most people paid the $29. That's a good way to test your pricing. A little more complex, but you can do it, right? You just have to be careful that if they didn't finish up the resume and they came back to the website, that you're showing them the price that you sent before, right? Don't go from $4 to $29, or from $29 to $4, right? You want to make sure that they're going to complete the thing. So that's, you could test pricing like that. That's a great way to test your pricing. Like I said, a little bit more complex. If you're starting out, do this. Put your finger and then put your hand in, see where the wind blows, and then just pick a number and just run with it. And run with it long enough to figure out whether it's working or not, and then you'll be able to get a gut feel of whether you need to increase price or lower price based on what's happening. If too many people use your product and then just pay immediately, your price is too low. So keep raising it. Keep raising it until the friction gets just enough where you notice that there's not as many conversion between completing and buying the PDF. And then you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to drop it one or two levels notch underneath that, and that's a good sweet spot. So that's a way to kind of test it. Hopefully that makes some sense. Is it possible to come up? Yeah, absolutely, man. I got a little bit of time. Gem Russet. Okay, let's see. Look at me doing multiple invites in one day. So hang on. No, I gotta. Where's the? Oh, yeah, hang on. I should make this a dedicated hour where I bring people up. But yeah, we'll bring you up. Hang on one second. Let me. I gotta figure. Where's my tools? There we go. La la la. Multiple guests. If I get my act right, this would be a regular thing that we do on a regular basis. So Gem Russet. There we go. Invite. Sent.
Hello, hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Great. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. Okay. Oh, I'm right next door to you. Oakville.
What about US?
Oakville.
Oakview. Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Right next door. All
I,
right.
I
What do you
I
got as a
used to work for
question?
a company in Oakville it's called Velocity HS.
Repeat that
Do you
again.
know
Sorry.
there's a company called Velocity EHS that I used to work for in Oakville.
Oh, really? Okay. So
I,
you're familiar with. Yeah.
yeah. I think they
Good.
have a very big signboard or something.
Good.
Anyways, thank you for your advice and letting me speak to you.
Yeah.
So currently I'm building on these resume builder, and it's called guruapply.com. I already launched it,
Uh huh.
so you can check it out. So I'm just struggling with the price.
Mm-hmm. Let's see where your pricing is right now. X dollars a month.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta pick a number, bro. That's too
I
funny.
have no
We don't
I
know
have
what it's gonna charge. It could be $1,000 or it could be $20,000. We're just gonna put X here. How about you put your number? That's really that's funny.
so
Okay,
so
so tell me what does a tool do, and then the thing. I'll read the website, but tell me what the tool does.
so this website is more of like, I don't know, maybe you've heard of job scan. So but my website, it takes your resume and the
Mhm.
job description,
Yeah,
then you can then it gives you a new resume matching the resume that you the job that you're applying for.
got it. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay. Now, can you send through this tool?
Can I what?
Send out the resume to this from this tool, or is it just matching the thing and they have to download the resume?
Yes, they have to download the resume only
Okay,
on
then
PDF.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so okay, okay. There's two things, two thought process I have. I would encourage you to do the next half of this process. Okay, the value is not in creating the resume. The value is in sending out the resume. Right? If you think about it for a second, what's the problem with most of these people that are applying for jobs right now? Oh man, like I sent out like 100 resumes and nobody responded to me. The sheer effort that it takes to send these resumes out, right? It's a process. I got to go on Indeed. I've done this, so I know the process. You got to go on Indeed and then you got to apply for a job and then they ask you like 100 different questions, right? And all kinds of crazy stuff. You got to fill in your information over and over and over again for every single job. And then we've all seen this. There's the one click button where it's like, one click apply. So what I used to do with the, what was it? Zip Recruiter is I just filter by one click apply, and I just one click apply to every single thing, right? Because I'm like I'm not filling out this form every single time. So that was the annoying part. So you got two ways to do it. Either one, get yourself an extension, right? So maybe don't do an integration to every single platform, but build an extension that could kind of skim the form and inject the information into it. That might be a way to do it, right? Depending on complexity. But the reason, excuse me, the reason why I tell you this is because you're going to have a problem here. People are going to fill out the resume. They're going to come in and they're going to input all their information. They're going to download their resume and then they're going to just bounce. They're going to disappear from your website. Because what's stopping me, think about it now, what's stopping me from generating a resume, generating 5 of them, paying for, let's say, I don't know, $10 a month. Let's just put a price on it, right? Paying $5 a month. You have unlimited resume scans here, unlimited jobs, and all resume templates, right? So now I could just generate as many resumes as we possibly can within that, um, let's say $10 or $20. Doesn't really matter what the number is. Download them locally, cancel your service, and then go to these other tools and just, sure, I got to do it manually, but I had to do that anyway, right? So there's nothing stopping me from doing that right now. So your value is not in generating the resumes. You have to figure out how to keep the user on your platform. Else you're going to have this problem where you're going to get 10 people sign up for your tool, and then by month 2 they're all disappear, and then you got to get 10 new people to sign up for your tool. You see what the problem is, right? You're going to keep having
Mhm.
that same up and down sort of revenue model. So, like, do you know what the average time it takes to look for a job? Like, do you know, how would I ask the question? Like, how long does it take to apply for
Okay,
a typical
I think I know
position?
what you're trying to say. So what you're trying to say is like, let's say they're looking for a job, and how long is it gonna take to complete the whole process? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So thank you again for giving me opportunity to speak with you. So I'm currently having the first version. So I'm only showing the first version right now.
Yeah.
So I think you're talking about the second version yourself.
Yes.
So the second, I have like three model that I want to work on, three versions I want to work on. So this version one is what I'm sharing. The second
Okay.
version is to create an extension. So the moment, let's say you're on LinkedIn,
Yes.
you automatically take the job description and the resume you uploaded before, then automatically with one click, it automatically gives you a new
Resume.
resume on the spot. So you can use that resume to apply. Instead of you going to the website, you
Yes.
register on the website, then you might pay extra for the extension. Then on that extension, it automatically gives you the new resume on maybe Indeed or ZipRecruiter or
Yes,
LinkedIn.
but what I'm challenging you a little bit further than that, right? Because what
Mhm,
I'm saying is that it's great that you're generating the resumes, but
mhm.
I would go to me personally if I were using your tool. Again, I don't have a job, so I'm trying to cut costs, right? So I
Yes.
would pay your $10. I would go to a bunch of websites and generate a bunch of resumes, and then I would cancel your tool. You see the problem? Okay. But
I do not understand that. Maybe so. I'm confused. What do you mean you go to other websites?
okay, let's talk about the job process just to make sure that we're both on the same page. What is the job
Okay.
process right now? I'm going to go on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. Let's just use those two, right? And I have a resume and I need to apply to maybe 50 jobs a day, right? To get
Yes.
one or two interviews, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
so that takes time. The act of going into Indeed, even though I have a profile, I still have to fill out a whole bunch of questions that all of these sites ask me. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the value in your tool is not in generating the resume because you could generate the resume all day long, but it might take me, let's say you give me your website, give me 5 different resumes for web development, and it kind of makes one, like, just to keep it simple, one is for web development, one is for, I don't know, senior web development, one is for AI specialist, but all roughly around web development tailored to the type of business, right? But let's just say it takes me now another, just to exaggerate the conversation, let's say it takes me between now and 6 months to get a job, and I'm doing, let's say, 50 resumes per day. You see the problem? I already got your resumes. You've already generated them for me. So I don't need to come back to your tool to generate more resumes. What I need is I need to get these resumes out to these companies that are going to hire me.
Oh, I think so. Okay, just to be clear, so we'll be on the same page. So you're saying, let's say my resume. So okay. So I think the word that I used from the beginning might be a little bit wrong when I said resume builder. So I have resume builder and I have resume it matches the job description for you. So
Yes.
I'm not only building, there's other features that build resume that makes your resume match the job that you're applying for. So
Yes.
if you have the same resume, if you use it for another job, there's high chances you're not going to go through because that resume is not going to match that other job. So AI is going to scan you off. So
Okay.
the purpose of this my application is to make your resume matches the
Yep.
job you're
Got it.
applying.
But
Yeah.
there's only so much matches that you can do. Is that you with me? Here,
Yeah,
let me
with
make it a
you.
little bit better for you. Okay, you could still see my screen, right? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your
Yeah,
screen.
okay. Let me make it a little bit easier for you because I think we're saying the same thing and I'm agreeing with you, but I'm trying to push you one step above that. So let me see if I could find a whiteboard that could work for both of us here. So, okay, so let's do this. Okay, so pen, pencil, and let's make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Okay, all right. So we have, I'm going to put these red box here as these are companies, and we're going to pretend that this is 100 companies, 100, okay? So we got
Yes.
100 companies that we want to apply to, all right? Each of them, let's say, okay, I'm put one more box here, okay? So let's say these two is looking for a AI developer, okay? Let's say AI dev, DEV, okay? And these two are looking for a web developer. Let's just see, okay? WEB, web developer.
Hello. Can I say something real
Yeah, go
quick?
ahead. Sure.
Okay, all right. So I would like I don't know how to say this, but I don't know how much time I have with you. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I do not want to waste it, to be
All right,
honest.
go ahead.
Because I think the reason why I said I want to come up is simply because you're giving me some ideas on the
Yeah.
pricing. And
Yes,
I honestly think the way you're speaking, you have so much information. So I don't know, maybe it's possible we focus more on that one because I don't want to
on the
waste my
price.
time,
Yeah,
you know?
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I
So
promise you, we're gonna get the price, but you gotta understand this concept. Promise
okay,
me on this one,
all
okay?
right, all
All right.
right.
And I promise you, here's my promise to you.
As long as
I,
you
I
have the time
will
to
I
spend,
will
yeah,
not leave
I'm
this
okay.
call until you understand this. That is my
All
commitment
right.
to you.
Okay, all
Okay?
right. Thank you,
All right.
thank you.
So and I appreciate you trying to be respectful of my time, but I'm here for you. We're going to solve this problem. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I got 100 resumes that I need to send out to 100 different companies. That's important. Okay. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them are AI specific, and some of them are web development specific. We're clear with that so far.
Yes.
Good. All right. So now I have your tool. Okay, so we're gonna say it's Guru, GURU, right? So you got your
Mm-hmm.
Guru AI builder, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI tool. Okay. And what are you doing? You're going out to each one of these websites basically, and you're pulling in the information so that you could generate specific resumes, right? Did I get that right so
Yes.
far? Good.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So what I'm saying to you is this is fantastic. It's a great tool. It's going to work. But you have a fundamental problem. The problem is that most of your users will basically you will have it they will sign up. Let's say they sign up today. Okay. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
today, DAY. Okay. Let's say within 30 days, they're going to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem that you're going to run into. The question is, why are they going to cancel? Okay. Why are they going to cancel? Because when you generate, because with 100 companies, there's let's say there's only 5 different categories of resumes that they could apply for, right? There's one person only has a certain amount of skills. So let's say, right? So he might apply for an AI job, but he might also apply for a web development job. But there's only about 5 different categories, just to keep the conversation simple, that he might apply for. So in other words, he'll apply for 20 AI jobs, he'll apply for 20 web development jobs, and he'll apply for 20 whatever it is, right? So what that translates to in your tool is you're going to get about 5 roughly, and again, I'm oversimplifying it. I know that there's more details here, but I want to make sure you understand the concept first. You're going to basically generate roughly 5 different types of template. After that, you're going to be repeating yourself. Does that make sense?
Okay, so for the last part, you said like my resume is gonna be repeating itself.
Technically, I know it's not
Oh, so okay,
100%.
yeah, okay, so what you're saying is like based on they have 5 rows, then if the people, it's same person applying, the resume is gonna like it's gonna have the same template. I think
Correct.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to repeat because there's only so many AI jobs that he's going to apply for, and there's only
Yeah.
so many web development jobs. So I don't need to keep if it's a web development job, I'm not going to keep generating new web development resume, right? I'm just going to use the same web development template and think. No, you could argue that yes, there's some customization, and I understand what you're saying in the detail level, but keep with me on the high level, okay?
Yes.
So your 100 companies will translate to about 5 resumes. Okay. So I'm
Yes.
over here. This is me. I'm a developer. And what do I don't have? I don't have money. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come into your tool. I'm going to generate those 5 resumes, and then I'm going to cancel. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm listening to you as a user, or maybe we might go back a little bit and talk about how the market works, or the purpose of me building the application itself. So
Okay.
maybe you have a bet. So let's say you're applying for a job, which is web developer
Yeah.
for maybe like TD Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and you're applying for web developer in RBC. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
two different companies with the same job title.
Mm-hmm.
But inside the job description itself, sometimes they might be asking for you, maybe do you understand AI, how to use backend for
Right.
maybe SQL,
Yeah.
React, and maybe TD Bank is asking for Java. So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot use the same resume, even though
Got
they
it.
have the same job title. You cannot
Yeah.
use the same resume for both.
I get it.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, I get it. But as a developer that knows both C Sharp and Java, right? I might tailor one resume with Java at the top and C Sharp at the bottom, and then the next resume I might have C Sharp at the top and Java at the bottom, right?
Exactly. So you're right. So now that's where my own application comes in.
Yep.
So instead of you going manually to start doing that by yourself, you just plug in the job description.
Yep.
It automatically, I don't want to use the word lies,
Yeah.
but it's just gonna make it fit
Yep.
into that job
It's
description.
gonna make it
And
relevant.
yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
100%. Yes. So what I'm saying is you're gonna get a cap at how many relevant resumes you can generate. Okay. And I'm trying to keep it simple. So I'm going to take you to the next level. I'm 100% in agreement and I 100% understand what you're telling me. Keep with me.
Mhm.
Okay. Keep with me. So now we have these 5 resumes. Okay. Again, C Sharp, Java, C Sharp, right?
Yes.
Citibank, etc. So we have about 5 different variations. I don't have money, so I'm going to cancel on you. Okay. But
Okay.
if I cancel on you, what do I have to do now? I have to go manually open up my computer and apply to these 100 companies. I'm going to take my Java resume, I'm going to submit it to all the Java application. Then I'm going to take my C Sharp resume and I'm going to send it to all the C Sharp application, right? I'm going to, you get where I'm going at this? So,
I understand you, but to be honest, I honestly think it's not gonna work the way you're saying
well,
it. To be
hear me
honest.
out, hear me out.
Okay, I'll listen to
What I'm
you.
trying to say is, the what you need to understand is that this person that's doing this work, okay, is spending a lot of time filling out these forms to submit them. Okay, the time. Okay, let me rephrase it differently. It'll if I use your tool, it'll take me 10 minutes to generate these. Um, it'll take 10 minutes to generate these 5 resumes. Let's just call it that. We don't know if it's 10 minutes, it might be 1 minute. It doesn't really matter. Take 10
Yeah.
minutes, right? But to send out 100 jobs, 100 applicants, it might take me, okay, I'm just going to make this up. It might take me 8 hours. Is that like a
Wait.
rough thing? Does that make sense?
So you said if you use my application, it's gonna take you 10 minutes. Then if you send it if when sending it or when applying for the job, it's gonna take you.
A longer time to send it.
Okay, yes, okay, all right. 8
Good.
hours, okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
the problem is that you're optimizing for the wrong thing. You're optimizing on the 10 minutes, right? Versus optimizing on the 8 hours. What you need to do is you need to save this person that 8 hours. You following?
I'm following you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right?
honestly think I know where you're going to. So I think what you're saying is talking about auto apply. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying?
That's exactly
Okay,
it. You need to
okay, all right.
generate the resumes and you need to auto apply. That's the only way you can keep the people on your platform for longer.
Okay, do you know like okay, I will tell you I will tell you if I have the opportunity to tell you why
Yeah.
I think that move it's to be honest, I honestly think it's not really good for a startup business and
Okay.
I honestly think it's not even good for you having that kind of business model. If
Got
you
it.
check those people already running those type of, there's a company called Robo Apply.
Yeah.
Robo Apply, you cannot even see the application without you paying. So you have to pay before you can even use the application. It's called Robo Apply.
Yeah.
So Robo Apply is crazy expensive. I think it's like
Apply to 1 million plus jobs, 3x
yeah,
faster hiring.
yeah. Check how much they're charging. You see, they're charging no nonsense amount.
Fortnite for okay, so for 3 days access, $9, $47 per month, 129 per month.
Yeah, so the Robo Apply that you're seeing, I'm very sure even the $9 that you're seeing,
Yeah.
let me go check the price because I think I opened it one time ago. So they said 3 days. So with the 3 days, they said like 20 application. I am very sure by the time you even click on activate this plan, they're asking for one crazy amount. So it's not really, it's like I don't know how people use that, but because it's expensive, I tried job scan, is way more expensive, right?
Yeah.
So those are things, and why is that expensive? Is simply because when they populate the job application, they cannot use this Robo Apply on Indeed. I don't know, maybe they were lying back then
Right.
because I know as a software developer, you cannot, by the time you put your application, starts applying automatically for you on Indeed or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is going to block you.
Yes.
Because
Got you.
you're using auto robot to apply for jobs, so they automatically blocks you.
Yeah.
So the other means of what they're doing is they go get the jobs from API. I don't you understand what
Uh-huh.
API is, right? So they get those jobs and they populate it on their own application so they can do whatever they want to do,
Got it.
maybe automatically applying. So let's say they get 10,000 APIs, which is kind of expensive for them.
Hmm.
Then they only have 10,000 jobs. So if 1,000 people apply, they're applying for the same job.
Right. Got
You
it.
see how crazy that is?
Understand what
So
you're saying. Yep.
they're using people. You understand what I'm saying,
Yep.
right? So,
So
and
your
mhm.
job is to mimic a human being filling out an application form so that you're not blocked by the robot. You already understand the problem and you already understand why you're different than Robo Apply. And your differentiator is in the fact that when we help you apply for a job, you look like a human being. Else, you're going to be blocked by the AI, LinkedIn, and all this type
Exactly.
of
So
stuff.
it's more of like you applying by yourself, getting the so my own what I want to do because there's to why I started building this application is because I'm a software developer
Mm-hmm.
and I just develop application for my friends and I use it for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that sometimes maybe I'm unable to maintain the application. Some of my friends they go behind and go pay $50 for this job application.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why are you gonna pay $50? And the $50 is way more expensive. Some of them they're ready to pay that $50 for almost like 2 months or something. I was
Right.
like, that's too much amount.
Yeah.
So the thing I was trying to bridge it like okay, there's a popular one called JobScan.
Yeah.
So they're already paying like $50 per month. I don't know. Let me check the price. I think I have the price. Okay, so it's like almost like $50 per month
Mm-hmm.
so you see the price of the
Yeah.
$50, and if you want to go for 3 months, you pay $90. So
Yes.
that's almost like $30 every month. So
Yeah.
my friends are ready to pay all those prices. So imagine me now having the application myself,
Yes.
whereby I have like three versions. One like JobScan right now, they don't even have those. If you download their extension, it's not that functioning. So for me, I can make it $20 or $15 every month.
Yes.
Then you have like 100 scan in a day or 50 scan in a day. Then I had the extension for the version 2, and the last version I want to add is like when you're doing live interview, is give you real-time answers to every question they ask you.
Got it.
Those are things they do not have. So I am struggling particularly
Yep.
with the pricing. And when I've been listening to you, you talk about you gaining access to the market,
Yes.
because to be honest, I have this application on my system for almost like 1 month. I abandoned it,
I
and
see.
for some reason I started going back on it, and I and I bumped into you again as well.
Got it.
Like, oh, what it's saying is connecting with me
Okay.
anyway. So yeah.
Got you. So, first of all, I appreciate you saying that the pricing thing is connecting with you, and at least you're getting some value. Um, so let me jump to your pricing specific answer because you came up here for pricing, and I was trying to give you a different business model, but I want to answer your question. The
Okay.
way how you price this is based on the time being saved. Okay, so you
Okay.
you have to think about time. My I'm using my mouse here, so it takes me forever to write, but it's time. Okay, save, because that's the business that you're in. You're in the business of saving time. Okay, SAVE. Okay, so this is the business that you're in. You're When you're doing pricing, you're either saving somebody's time, right, or you're bringing some sort of emotional value to them, right, making them happier, smarter, some craziness like that, right? But or you're giving them, you're increasing efficiency, and that's kind of what it is. It's between a time and efficiency type of thing, right? Because if I use your tool today, I can get 5 or 10 or 15 resumes um, built out significantly faster than doing it myself, right? Think about how long it takes to compose a resume. I don't know. If I'm really trying to be diligent about my resume, maybe it'll take me like 2 hours or hour or something like that to kind of do it, right? And you're saying that instead of taking 2 hours to rewrite your resume, I'm going to do it for you in 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it is. And in fact, I'm going to specialize and um, uh, um, customize the resume for the job that you're applying for. Okay, so the way how you, now that you know, understand that concept, you can do it on a per resume basis, or you could buy it in batch, right? So you say this is what you do. You say, depending on the amount of jobs that you're applying for, you give me, let's say, 5 websites, right? You give me 5 websites, and you could basically get a package. You do it in a package deal. So you say, for 5 websites, I'm gonna charge you, let's call it $9, right? $9.99. Okay, for 5. However, if you buy, let's say, 20, then I'm gonna give it to you for $14. So the price is not increment. It's not increasing proportionate to the amount. However, if you buy 50 websites, then I'm going to do it for 29, um, let's say $29 or something like that, as a package. Okay, so now the user gets a choice to figure out how many resumes do I want to apply and how many resumes do I want to customize. And then they basically buy a package deal, so they could keep coming back to you to do more package resume. That would be the first level to kind of solving this problem, right? In fact, these prices are not necessarily bad for the numbers that I've kind of given you, right? The only single thing is that when you think about it from a time, because your model is saving people time. So right now you're saving them, or you're generating 10 minutes, so you're saving them about 2 hours, let's call it, to generate. Let's say it would take them, if they manually did it, it would take them about 2 hours, realistically speaking, right, to kind of do it, or maybe even an hour and a half or something like that, to generate these, to do these resumes by themselves, copy and paste and all that craziness. Okay, but the bigger savings that you can get is this 8 hours. That's why I keep coming back to this 8 hours, because the time that it takes to submit these resumes is actually a bigger time. Okay, so now you could say, I'm going to charge you, um, I'm going to give you 5 resumes for $9. However, if you want me to submit them for you, I could submit 100 resumes, right? I could submit to 100 websites manually without making you look like an AI and without making you get blocked, right? These are all the claims that you're making. And to do that, we can get you, it'll be $29 per month, let's say, as an example. Okay, and this will allow you to get, my camera just went away, this will allow you to get 100 resumes submitted, SUB, I'm just going to put SUB, per month. Okay, so as long as you're with me, you can buy my package to just generate the resumes and manually do it yourself. Or if you just buy the resumes and you do the submission for $29 a month, I'll give you a special deal, and we'll say that both of these, instead of paying, what is that, let's call that, my goodness, $40, I'm going to give it to you for $33. Let's just say I'm going to give you a discount for the package for both of them, right? But based on your tool that you have today, this was your pricing right there, this one here. right?
Yeah.
You come up with a, okay, for 5 resumes I'm going to give you this price, for 20 resumes this price, for 50 resumes this price, and you give the user an option. You don't
Can I
give them.
quickly jump in? Can I
Go
quickly
ahead.
jump
Yeah,
in?
100%.
Okay, so let's say so my business or my pricing, I currently have like two pricing right now. So the two price that I have is like, first I want to do like maybe like when they pay maybe $29, I do not have the amount currently. So let's say they pay $29 or $20 every month. They have 100 resumes scanned per day. So, and if they don't pay, so what do you think I should do for, like, let's say against or versus $29 per month or $20 per month, and they entitled to 100 resume per day or resume scan per day? What do you think I should do for the free pricing? Like, do they have the able to download the PDF? Can they scan and they are unable to download PDF? Can they build resume or call the API? Because
Yeah.
I'm using AI to build the resume from the
So
background. Yes. Yeah.
it's a fair question. What I would say is, my camera got frozen, but I could still hear you and see you
No, it's
perfectly.
okay. Yeah, I'm fine now.
So what I would say is, the free, you only want to give just enough value so they could see that it's worth paying for.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain. So on the free, what you do is you want to cap it. One resume. Like this 5 resume here is ridiculous. Okay, you
Okay.
give them one resume, one
Okay.
scan per day. Okay,
Okay.
so if they keep coming back to your site every single day, you could get one new resume and one scan. You can do this easy with Cloudflare to block, IP and all that kind of stuff. You're a developer, so you understand this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, and you drop a cookie on their system so that you know that this person came back and all that kind of stuff. So one
Mhm.
resume one day. This allows them to keep coming back every single day, because they're going to want to. There's going to be some people that every day they'll just come to your site and they're just going to generate one resume for one new website, and they're going to do that perfectly fine. But there's going to
Mhm.
be a percentage of people that's going to be frustrated with that process. They know that the tool works, and they're like, I just need to get 10 resumes out. Okay. And they're just going to pay you for those 10 resumes. So that's how you kind of gatekeep. You do not do unlimited scans and unlimited thing on a pay on an upsell. You just sell packages, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So
Right?
okay. So what you're saying is, you say like I do not do unlimited. For even with the paid one, it should not be unlimited,
You
right?
cannot. If you do
Okay.
that and you're using AI in today's world, have you seen the prices for AI? You'll
I
go
know.
bankrupt, my friend.
I So
Right?
that's how I come up with 100 anyways, So I don't know, maybe
Uh,
I should do this
100 is
way.
way too generous. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Um, I don't know what the right number is, but start with these numbers. Start with 5, start with 20, and start with 50. Go with that
Okay. All
as
right.
an
So
example,
you
right?
so you said
Because,
like $9 per month, and they have like
no,
five
no,
resumes
not
per
per
day.
month, for 5.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. So like $9, and they have five resume,
You,
9 resume
you get 5 resumes generated.
for $9.
Yes. And then if you pay $4 more, you get 20 resumes. And then if you pay 10 well, $14 more, you get 50 resumes.
Mm,
Okay? But what you're doing is you're forcing the user to choose how many resumes do I want to generate, and then they pay just for that. It's no per month. It's just for the resume usage. Now, some people are going to want to upgrade and pay more, and they're going to get you say, okay, you want to do unlimited, then we're going to lock you into a 6 months, and you pay for that 6 months period. You could just keep paying, right? And it'd be a higher price or something, right? But the reason why you're doing this is because there's the model that you have right now. People are going to come to your website, they're going to generate a few resumes, and then they're going to disappear.
mm,
So you have to give them an incentive to keep coming back. And the way that you do that is, the free people, you give them one resume per day. And the
mm-hmm,
paid people, you give them a limit of how many. So somebody might pay the $9 and they might generate 5 resumes. And then they might say, you know what, I actually need more. So I'm going to just pay the $9 again. I'm going to generate more. But it's like, why would I pay $20, right? 9 and 9, like 20, rounding off, when I could pay $14 and get 20 resumes,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So,
So
okay.
that gives them an incentive to pay more for more resume for 5 times more resume. I pay an extra $5, I get 5 times the resumes,
Okay. That
right?
that makes sense. So
Yeah.
okay. So I don't want to waste your. I don't want to waste your time. I
No,
don't know
no,
what
that's
time you're
good.
gonna be leaving. So what about the PDF download? So for the free one, free version, they have access to the PDF download as
Yeah, yeah.
well.
Free. Everybody gets access to the same thing, right? The free version, you just get one download per day.
Okay, do you know what okay, do you know, like, let me quickly explain how what I use for my application on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So, and why am I have been not been doubt with that 1 day per scan, because for the PDF download I don't have any problem with that one, because it's more of like my server doing the
Yeah.
download for the PDF, so it's cheap, it's free for me.
Okay.
For the AI scan, if I'm giving them all features for free, even though it's per day, they are calling my API for
Yeah.
my AI, and it's gonna be costing me money.
Yeah,
So
I got you.
they have like 30 scan. That's automatic 30 scan. Or what do you think? Because if they have like one day per scan, and in a month, that's like 30 days. So from five, it automatically jumps to five, or it jumps to 30 rather.
Yeah, I got you. So that is the cost of doing marketing. So if you
Okay.
didn't that 30 scans that you just described will cost you what? I don't know, $2, $3, $5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your cost is
So you mean like for the five, or do you mean for the 30?
for the 30 for the 30 scans that you're gonna do? How much is it gonna cost you?
Uh,
What are you using? Cloudflare?
let's say let's say like $1 or something.
Okay, here we go. So it costs you $1 for somebody to come to your website and use your product for 30 days. That's a customer that would if you convert them, that dollar will turn into $9. The math works,
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
right? So you don't worry about that initial thing. And the reason the only difference here is that you need to do some free advertising, right? So you get yourself delisted in all directories and all that kind of stuff. Do some TikTok if you have to, whatever you got to do to get
Yes.
exposure. And you basically, the free is to get your first people in the door. What do you think I'm doing, right? Everybody that signs up in this free community, at some point they come to me as looking for more help and more advice, right? I just
Mm.
happen to have products that I could sell them on the back end. So the free matters. In my particular case, it's free time and whatever else. But the point is, the free you giving away something for free so they could see the value. Will as long as they could see the value and they don't have a job, they will convert to a paying customer. You're like, man, this product is so good, it's free, but I could only do one resume. Like I need to get 10 resumes out. Okay, fine. Then pay the $14, right?
Yes.
And with that free, you got their name and you got their email address. And what can you do with that? You could send them emails, you could market to them, you could upsell them.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look at it as just, oh, it's just one, like it's costing me money. What you've gotten is you got a lead. And now you can send out an email, say, hey, I noticed that you've been using our product um, every day for the last 2 weeks. And it seems like you don't want to upgrade because maybe is it a price thing? Like what's the reason? So tell you what, for the next week, or $9 a month, we're gonna give it to you for $4.99 as a one-time special. Click here to buy. I just upgraded my dollar customer to a $4 customer, right? So instead of
Yes.
losing $1, I gained $3.
Yes.
Right? So that's the model. And that allows you to kind of really upsell. Now, you're still going to have to play around with pricing because if you see people coming in and buying your 9.99, but nobody's buying your 14 and your 29, right? Then you'll have to play around with it a little bit more. So what you might end up doing is basically put in this $9, but only make this instead of 5 resumes, you only get 3 resumes, right? And instead of
Yes.
20, you get 29. So you make the second tier significantly more better, right? So that
Yes.
they don't want, why would I pay for, 9.99 for 3 resumes when I could pay $14 for 29 resumes, as an example. and that's what you'll have to play around with to kind of get it right. But you'll only know that once you have the people coming in on the free tier and you see how they're converting. If a lot of people are buying on the low tier, you then you switch the price. Does that help
Yes.
you?
Yes, it helped me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Are you in the community?
No, no, no. So, like, how do I join the community? Oh, you mean like the join button at the top?
It's right here, man.
Okay, all right.
Come in the community, about us. I'll drop it in the link, dwayne.me/school. Okay, come in, join the community. It's free. Everybody comes in for free. Um, and yeah, and post your what you're working on and how things are going, and keep us posted. And I'm more than happy to help you with trying to solve this problem and the marketing and stuff like that.
All right.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
no
Yeah,
problem.
thank
What's your
you.
name? Sorry,
Dapo.
Dacor.
Dapo, DAPO.
Dato.
No,
Dato.
DAPO.
DAPO. Oh, Dapo. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Nice to
Yeah.
meet you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a
Yeah.
wonderful day.
You too. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how to get you off, so you got to get yourself off.
I think it's
Okay, there we go. All right. So my camera is completely broken. I don't, oh wait, hang on. Can I stop it and then maybe? How do I? I don't know how to do it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My camera is completely broken on TikTok. It's just yeah. I don't know what's going on. The there was a way for me to do it and I forgot how to do it, but it doesn't really matter. Listen, this has been a fantastic pleasure. I've been on for really long. Colette is already telling me that I've met my quota. So I gotta run, guys. I just heard my kid just came home, so I gotta go spend some time. He's learning how to ride a bike, so I'm trying to teach him. He's a fantastic learner. So with that, hopefully you guys had gotten some value. For those who haven't already joined the community, like I keep saying every week, there's lots more stuff coming. There's lots more stuff coming, but yeah, talk amongst yourself, learn from each other. This is a safe space, and I appreciate every single one of you every single week showing up and hearing and learning from me. It really means a lot to me, and thank you for your time, energy, and attention. Okay, bye bye. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Talk soon. Ba, ba, ba. Do, do, do. Finish.